Another week of pro wrestling is in the books, and y'all know what time it is. It's time for some Tru Heel Heat, where we talk about the entire world of pro wrestling. In WWE, the question is, where in the world is CM Punk? And it led to a bunch of controversy and rumors being debunked, being confirmed. Is he going to SmackDown? When is he going to return? We had so much going on with the CM Punk drama. We'll get into it all today. Vincent Kennedy McMahon has found himself in legal trouble over the last couple of years. But there seems to be light at the end of the tunnel for the devil himself, as it seems the Janel Grant operation is going private. Meanwhile, the shareholders lawsuit is reaching a settlement. We might not be able to cover any more legal troubles for Vince McMahon for now. And of course, there was the action as WWE Raw was in Paris, France, with one of their hottest crowds of the year. You had Friday Night SmackDown last night with final build to the Gunther versus Cody Rhodes rematch coming up next week, and who the special guest referee will be for that, as well as the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments basically heating up as we set up the semifinals. Jey Uso has a van, Charlotte Flair has a van. We'll talk about Monday Night Raw, where Obafemi and Dominic Mysterio got ready for their matchup, but the big star in Paris was Chad Gable. NXT, we had a new women's North American champion being crowned. We had number one contenders for Great American Bash being set up, which is going to be on the same day as Forbidden Door in AEW Forbidden Door card. He really took shape this week as we're going to get a steel cage matchup, as well as the finals of the Owen Hart men's tournament with Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay at Summer Blockbuster Swerve event. We'll talk about some CMLL, some ROH, some TNA. NJPW Best of Super Juniors 33 tournament finally concluded last weekend, and now goes on to tomorrow at Dominion, where we got final predictions for the big card. It is the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast. The grill is on for the Saturday morning's cookout. Let's get to work and let's go.
Hello, this is RJ City, and I am ethically opposed to any more wrestling podcasts. I don't know why you guys are talking about wrestling. It is a niche product. It is a very small industry. Yet, at this point, there's more wrestling podcasts than there are wrestlers. There is something wrong with society as a whole, but as you get smaller and smaller into wrestling, and then the wrestling podcast sphere, it gets even worse. And one such example, if I may turn on the microscope and look at the drudgery that happens to be Tru Heel Heat. SP3, Sid, this is your fault.
What's up, Tru Heel Heat?
Tru Heel Heat.
What's up? Tru Heel Heat. He said to watch Tru Heel Heat now! Right now!
Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3, and we are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube and Twitch for Tru Heel Heat 385, legal controversy obtained and averted, discussing the latest wrestling news, including CM Punk WWE absence controversy, Vince McMahon and Janel Grant lawsuit going private, a recap of this week in wrestling with WWE SmackDown, Raw, NXT, Evolve, AAA Noches de los Grandes, Week 2, TNA Impact, AEW Collision and Dynamite, NJPW Best of Super Juniors 33 Final, ROH TV, CMLL, and we got some final predictions for NJPW Dominion 2026 coming up tomorrow morning. And to break it all down, to discuss it all, we got the good brothers here with us today. First up, we got the true draw himself. Josh, how the hell are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I had one of the longest weeks of my life. From work to watching the NBA Finals, man, what a week.
Hey, I said it last week. Miss Chrissy Love really did the reverse jinx. She's the real Danhausen. She reverse cursed y'all, and now y'all can't lose.
I mean, I hope so. Fuck Danhausen, by the way. Can't stand that guy.
I'm back in New York to see the city before it's burned down tonight. It's been nice to get the city air before the smoke fulls and there's fires on 34th Street and beyond, thanks to your disgusting fan base.
You're back in New York?
Yes.
You choose.
You didn't hear? I literally told you before we went live. I was like, I'm still getting used to the time change. Thanks for letting me know you don't listen to me.
No, because you know why? My Wi-Fi actually went out. So whatever you guys were talking about.
I was wondering why you were so quiet too.
No, I had to switch. No, I had to switch Wi-Fi, so that's why. It wasn't that I didn't listen to you. And then I noticed the background. I was like, oh shit, you chose the worst time to come back.
I chose the right time.
Just don't wear a Spurs jersey and you'll be fine. You'll be
don't wear any other jersey outside of the Knicks. I'm not going outside tonight, so I'm good. I'll be alive. I'll get to see the city burn down from the distance on my terrace. That might be nice. But we got with us our good brother. He's become the sixth man here on the Flagship podcast. He is the main man over at Dirt Sheet Radio, and he is the birthday boy himself. Happy birthday to Jon Escudero. How you doing, John?
I'm doing good. I'm 35. My knees should be giving out any second now. My back's gonna go after it. So looking forward to that.
This guy, you hear this guy? Well, what does that mean for me?
You should have already started. I'll meet you there.
He said you should already be on the way to this. I should have to tell you nothing. I mean, what does it say for me? I think I'm molded into both of y'all. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
Hey, we're all gonna be in the retirement home together very soon.
Well, I mean, Harlem already takes over this channel when she wants to, so you know, I have a replacement. I have a replacement on deck already. But yes, we got a lot to discuss. from this week in pro wrestling, especially the big news that's in the headlines, but we got so much more to discuss. So appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all for watching us on demand. Either way, show your appreciation back the simplest way possible by dropping a thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. You can also sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you, hear your thoughts on this week in wrestling, but also if you're watching on demand, the conversation keeps going on in the comments down below. So let us know what you thought about this week in pro wrestling. Hit the hype button. That also helps us out so much. And of course, if you're with us live, if you want to make sure your comment is highlighted on screen, want to discuss anything going on in the world of wrestling, you could send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate the support. Volop, he's an eagle eye viewer. He says, "Oh, I know that background. You're back in New York." Indeed I am. We also got Louisville. He says, "I missed the Harlem Art Museum in the Hey, this is a Bronx art museum. My dad was living in the Bronx for a long time. That's my dad's work. We got Louisville. He says, "It's coming home. Knicks in 5." I love the confidence going on. That's why it's been easy for me to be like, all right, the Knicks won. I'm over it. I'm not even gonna basically react tonight when they actually win. I'm just gonna be like, I knew they were gonna win after they come back from 29 down, the greatest comeback in NBA history.
Believe me, I think by the third quarter, I was just like, yeah, we just gotta focus on game 5 now, because it was just not going well. A lot of awful plays, Cat being taken out within like the first 3 minutes because of 2 fouls. It was not going good. And then all of a sudden, when it got to 15, right, I look at the score and I was like, oh wow, like they got pretty close, 15, right? I felt a little better, but then all of a sudden that comeback happens, and I was like, "Oh my god, what am I watching right now? What is going on?"
Watching history.
I don't even watch basketball or any sports really, but that shit. I mean, I just like tribalism, so I was like, "Hell yeah, let's fucking go New York, hell yeah!" And so I turned that shit on after Dynamite, and I was like, one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Yeah, that was awesome. Fucking basketball.
Crazy. Go sports. But I'm saying happy birthday, Big John, becoming an old human.
Yeah, it's sad. I got a lot of grays going on. I'm like, what? Do you just get free like just for men after a certain age, or does that just start coming in the mail like retirement letters and shit?
Yeah, basically. You're welcome to this half of the 30s. Doesn't get any better from here, sir. Just letting you know. We got Volop. Is my mic muffled, or was he talking about one of y'all?
Maybe it's me. I don't know. Oh, okay. Do I sound muffled? Do I sound muffled now? No.
We got a whole bunch of birthday wishes for Big John in the chat. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, boy.
We got Michael Allen Lewis. He says, if the Spurs this series to the Knicks, does Wemby's career recover? Yeah, he's 21 years old, 22 years old. He'll be fine. He will be fine, folks. Don't worry. He's going to win plenty of championships. Now he just has a personal vendetta against the New York Knicks and their fan base. The worst fan base in sports.
They hit that motherfucker with an egg. I hit the pole or something. But
yo, I don't know. Yo, like, whoever do that, yo, that must have been like, that must have been like the most accurate throw I've seen.
Yeah, but it's not that hard to hit. The guy's fucking.
Exactly.
I'm saying like, no, when they threw it, but it hit the pole. That's what happened. I was like, out of all things to hit, I was like, how do you hit the pole? Like, how does that happen? Yo,
it's. I know people are like, yeah, those Knicks, those fans are fucking disgusting. That's just New York, man. People will take an opportunity to do that or be that way in New York anytime it comes. A blackout or fucking celebration. It's just That's
Yeah, the thing
all it
is, I mean, and the thing is, I don't condone it. So, I don't think, people wearing different jerseys. Yeah, that's cool. People wearing Spurs jerseys, they're allowed to do that. I just don't think, being attacked and being jumped, it's not the brightest thing, especially with social media these days.
Yeah.
So, I don't condone it. I don't think it's cool. Whatever happened to Wemby, I don't condone it. Do I feel bad for him? Not really. Because it's just more of what I've seen from him the last 2 games.
Just
He pushed Brunson, like the way that he did it, he got away with it. And then just the antics he was doing in game 4. Like, I understand, like, they were up, and then you're telling Mitch that you're in his head, but then it's like, bro, you just blew it. Like, nobody's gonna let you down off of that. Like, your team just blew it. And then not only they blew it, but he missed like 2 of the biggest free throws he could have had. He missed both of them. And then you had this idiot DeAndre Fox do what he did. He messed up like 3 times in the last 30 seconds. Like, I just don't, it's inexperience. The Spurs' inexperience really showed. All those 3-pointers they were taking because they were desperate, because they were down. They're still a good team, and that's why I'm not taking it lightly, but they'll learn from this. I think they have, they're a great organization. They'll learn from it, and Wemby, he's gonna bounce back. I mean, it's only his 3rd year in the league. Like,
he's gonna be fine, guys.
He's gonna be fine. He's a future face of the NBA. Like, so he'll be fine. This is a learning experience. There's guys who didn't win their first championship until like 7, 8, 9 years into the league. Some people get lucky. Like Tim Duncan won very early in his career.
Second year.
Second year. So I mean, Wemby has time. The organization, they have a good structure. They have a good. Mitch Johnson is a good coach. For the way that he took over when Pop had to step down because of what happened. He's done an incredible job. These guys are good. I'm not going to take away anything from San Antonio. They're good. They're a good team. It's just their inexperience has shown greatly, and this is why this was the better matchup for the Knicks, because of experience.
Yeah. I don't think the Thunder would have gave up the 2 games that the Spurs had.
Not in that fashion, yeah. Not in that fashion. Not the way that they gave it up. They
literally just gave up game 2 with the pass to Stephon Castle's back, and then blowing a 29-point lead. And like, that's why I've been saying everybody wants to say, the greatest comeback ever. I'm like, it's also the biggest collapse ever. Like, it was definitely a collapse on the Spurs part for sure. So. Unfortunately, we have to live with it. But we do have a super chat donation from our boy Adrian Carpenter. Thank you so much, Adrian, for the support. He says, "Happy birthday, John. I remember when everyone celebrated Powerhouse Hobbs leaving AEW. How's Royce Keys doing? LOL. He a glorified jobber."
You gotta let it play out, brother. He's gonna join the MFTs, and they're gonna fight the Bloodline together. You just wait, man.
And also, I don't think everybody celebrated Powerhouse Hobbs leaving. People were happy for him because that's what he wanted. He wanted to go to WWE. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, he's dealing with what he's dealing with. Because he left AEW because of opportunity, and now I'm just like, you're probably in the worst position than you were.
I wouldn't say that. I think that's overblowing it quite a bit.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
I mean, it's just
lateral. Lateral. Yeah. I don't think he's done.
I think he's involved in a program with the Bloodline. That's probably as big as it's gonna get for him.
He's not involved with the Bloodline yet. He's like outside down the block. He's getting there. He's talking so low. He'll get there. But if he fucking trips. and he hits the wrong toe tomorrow, he won't make it to Roman. You gotta wait to get there. We'll get there, but right now he's like parallel to the Bloodline. He'll get involved when he joins up with Solo Sikoa and the MFTs.
Hey, I can't wait, man. I can't wait for Royce Keys to come out to bring it on.
I love you, Solo. I love you, Solo.
Damn.
You
Damn,
fucking
Royce.
kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's not fucking. He's just in the same spot he was with Joe, but he's with a worse Samoa.
No, I'm so no.
Oh my
you're
God.
wilding. You're wilding. This is much better presented.
Oh shit! Damn, yo. Yo, damn. That shit blew my mind. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I'm laughing. Oh damn. Yikes.
I didn't think of it till now. That's funny as hell. I cracked the shit out of myself.
That's yo.
One Samoan to another. Hey, this is a better Samoan. I'm sorry.
Solo Sikoa is not a better
Not
Samoan than
Roman.
No, he's gonna be standing with fucking Solo. He's gonna be standing side by side
in
with
a
Solo
storyline
Sikoa.
with the Bloodline. That's the biggest position possible.
I'm sorry
And he's
that's
on the bigger platform.
I'm sorry that the Bloodline story still exists, let alone that he has to be involved with it. I mean, good that he's involved with the main event, bad that he's involved with this storyline, but enjoy it if you're enjoying it.
Hey,
Yeah, it's like microwaving nachos at this point because I'm just trying to. I think the Gable stuff is more compelling at the moment. Like the what they've been doing with Chad Gable, like that's been, at least for me, that's been like better. Yeah, like that's been better. Like that's been like, I want to say much watch TV, but if I'm tuning in to WWE or Raw for something, like that's what I'm tuning in for because I think they've done I think they've done a splendid job when it comes to post Mask versus Mask and how they're like rebuilding up Chad Gable. I like it. It's just a matter of what the fuck are they gonna do with him after the fact, and that's always been Chad Gable's problem. Not him, but booking of Chad Gable, where it's like, all right, we see something with this guy. He's really good. He's good in the ring. He has charisma. You should do something with this guy. Like give him a mid-card title. Like do something. He hasn't even had that.
You would hope that he's gonna face Penta at SummerSlam. I'm more concerned because Ludwig Kaiser's on, and like obviously they're gonna focus the Grande Americano thing on AAA, but it's like the taping schedule means that he's not gonna be back on the show for like another week, like another 2 weeks. Like that's crazy momentum halt. Like he should be on Raw doing something in the meantime, but it's good to see that Chad Gable's getting a new push. Like clearly he's getting his babyface push here, and I don't know where it's gonna go, but he should get a fucking title match or something. I don't know. I
think he should get a heavyweight title match. Like I don't think that the Intercontinental title is good enough, but that's not gonna happen. Yeah, I do know that's not gonna happen.
The wrong company, brother. He's a short guy. They still, Triple H is.
Triple H is like, I think we should think about pushing Chad Gable, and then he said, "Tell Chad Gable to come to my office." And then Chad Gable comes in and he looks over at Bruce and he's like, "Where's the rest of them?" He's like, "This is the shorty you want me to push." We got another super chat donation from Adrian Carpenter. Thank you so much, Adrian, for the support. He said Hobbs had opportunity. He was a trios champ on TV every week, had multiple world title matches. He took what he had for granted. Now look at him. He's happy. What are we talking about?
He seems happy. It's early. It's very early.
I can't. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say that he took it for granted. I think that's kind of overstepping it. I think he's he's grateful for his opportunities. It's just how his goal was to go to WWE, and he went to WWE. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's a lot of stop start in AEW too with Hobbs.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was a lot of like rebuilding, reheating, and going stale, going cold again. He probably just felt like it was time to go. And there's something wrong with that. But to say he took his opportunities for granted, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. Like, that's a little much.
What the? What? I mean, good. He sent in a super chat. Thank you for that. But damn.
Hey, we appreciate any opinion, especially if it comes in a super chat.
It's just like talking. We're just talking. It's fun debate.
We got another super chat donation from Vala. Thank you so much, Vala, for the support. He says, brother, he went from the Samoa Joe to some Samoan named Joe. Some Samoan, one of the biggest stars in wrestling history.
Is that the Rock's cousin? He looks just like him. That's what my mom.
He looks just like him. He's got the same skin color.
They all have the tattoos.
We got Pedro who says shoot for the stars. We also got Michael Allen Lewis who says, did you hear that stupid report that Bischoff was scouting Gable for Real American Freestyle Wrestling? I saw that and I was like, I'm not even adding that to the agendas. It's Eric Bischoff, folks.
That's ridiculous.
I don't take anything that man says seriously, honestly, at this point. He can kick rocks. But yes, we're gonna get into the show. But before, of course, we do that, we gotta do our Tru Heel roll call, where we shout out all of you supporting us across social media, as well as here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, and of course our Patreon members and our members here on the channel as well. Our top 3 conversation starters on our Tru Heel's group page, our Tru Heel Trinity. We got Jermaine Papin, we got Joe Bellini, Stewie John Palmer, Patreon backers and members. We got Valub, aka Blind Roar. We got Negro Buck, Nick Jackson, Professor Chris, Trey, Robert, Steve, Ladarius, Chase, King Greg, Aya, Louisville, Alan Weinstein, John Martin, Dolores, James, Allen, Santos, Justin, Chuck Berries, Dan, Josh D from CT, Dion Jenkins, and Luis. Thank you so much for supporting us over at patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best way to support us when we're not live here. And of course, being a member of the channel, $1 a month here gets you also a part of our Tru Heel roll call as well. But we're going to start this week. I'm sorry, guys. I got to pitch out through the pain of starting with WWE this week, as we got to talk some.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
Last night's Friday Night SmackDown, the show featured Gunther choosing the stipulation for his undisputed WWE Championship matchup against Cody Rhodes next week. Due to how Clash in Italy went, Gunther told Aldis that he wanted to choose the referee. This led to Sami Zayn calling out Cody Rhodes after their recent interactions. Both men showed some fire towards one another, with Cody saying that him holding the WWE title means Sami will never be champion, which led to Zayn slapping Cody. Rhodes slapped Sami back after Sami had apologized. So later, Gunther announced Zayn will be the special guest referee for the title bout next week. You had Charlotte Flair picked up a win over Lyra Valkyria, Sol Ruka, and Jade Cargill in a pretty good 4-way opener to advance to the King of the Ring, the Queen of the Ring semifinals against Liv Morgan next week on the show. Elsewhere, you had Jacob Fatu came to SmackDown to tell Solo Sikoa that Roman Reigns says it's time for Sikoa to come home and reunite the family. However, Solo showed some emotion talking about how Roman has embarrassed and made Fatu kneel like a dog and why family doesn't do that to one another. So if Roman wants him to come home, he's going to have to come get him himself. Sikoa would use that to further manipulate Royce Keys in another backstage segment. Finally, at the end of the night, we had Jey Uso defeated Finn Balor, Royce Keys, and LA Knight in a damn good four-way main event to advance to the King of the Ring semifinals, where he will face Javon Evans next week. It came due to a Samoan spike from Solo on Knight that was intended to help Keys and instead helped his brother. You had Paige and Brie Bella scored a victory over Fatal Influence in a non-title match. Meechin and B-Fab beat Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton thanks to interference by Jade Cargill. Post-match, Cargill, Meechin, and B-Fab jumped Stratton to send a message to her for a shot at the WWE Women's United States Championship. You had Trick Williams got into an interaction with Carmelo Hayes and Ricky Saints. Sets up Ricky versus Mello next week to determine the number one contender to face Trick after Trick laid out both men. And then finally, you had Rey Fenix made history by successfully retaining the AAA World Cruiserweight Championship for the first time on WWE TV over Axiom. So this one was a banger as well, which the Providence crowd in Rhode Island didn't deserve this shit, because this shit would have cooked in Mexico if it wasn't on WWE TV. But a good episode. As far as like the wrestling, I thought the wrestling on this show was good. Some of the storylines is hit or miss, but I did enjoy the interaction between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa, because Solo felt like he was addressing the fan kind of reaction to how Jacob Fatu has been neutered by Roman Reigns since losing Tribal Combat. So that had some emotion that we usually don't get from Solo. So I actually enjoyed the Bloodline stuff overall on this show, because I think it's an interesting direction to have Roman tell Solo to come home. And if we're going to have the big MFTs merging with the Bloodline, I think that is that's something different. At least it's not the same route we've been going on, which has been pretty much 2026, them reheating the nachos of old Bloodline stories. But John, what did you think about SmackDown last night?
Yeah, that Phoenix Axiom match, reading Shakespeare to dogs out there. Unfortunately, that's just how that goes with these WWE crowds. It sucks, but you know, they're sitting on their fucking hands for these guys, and they're performing their ass off. They don't want to see that shit. They want to see the entrance. They want to see the finisher. They want to count 1, 2, 3. That's what they want to do. That's why this show can continue to be successful when it's dog shit, because they're satisfied with minimum fucking performances. So enjoy. Yeah. The Solo Sikoa thing was it was compelling. I thought Solo showing emotion and not being a goofball for a second, and then kind of going back to it, like, yeah, tell Roman to come kiss my ass or whatever. The Bloodline story has really thrown out any heel babyface dynamics. Like,
yeah, because this whole scene made Roman feel like the heel and Solo the babyface.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Like, he's more. If you went down that route, he'd be more over than he ever was if you kept pushing it. But it's still, I just kept thinking about like the possibilities, like what are the possible outcomes from this? And it's like, you either do Solo versus Roman again, which I'm not sure that's entertaining for anybody. And I don't think the company's stupid enough to, I mean, did they think Tribal Combat the first time was a success? You know, like, I guess, you know, and then the other thing is like the MFTs join the Bloodline. It's like, I guess they'll just be more people pointing fingers in the sky. Like, I don't understand. Like, and then ultimately, what are you gonna do? Split up again? Another Bloodline Civil War? Are you fucking kidding me? I don't have any interest. That's why I was like, all right, you know, the Solo thing is fine, but in a vacuum, because I can't even see a trajectory where I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to see the next Solo Sikoa Roman Reigns segment. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. What? We're leading to another Bloodline SummerSlam. And are you fucking kidding me? There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. I was watching the show and I'm like, there's no way. Like you're not gonna actually do Jey Uso versus Cody, right? Like, come on. Like, are you kidding me? Are you before he won the match, I was like, you know, they've been doing a lot of segments where the guy kind of teases he's gonna do something and then he doesn't. Seth Rollins, I got a date with Roman Reigns, and then he loses. And I think somebody else did the same thing. But I was like, they can't all be that. And then holy shit, this looks like the one. And then he wins the match, and I was like, no, bro, fuck, that's actually gonna happen. So good fucking luck, man. And that final four for the King of the Ring is abysmal, bro. Like this is going on at the same time as the Owen Cup, and you expect me to be like, hell yeah, King of the Ring. Like this shit is fucking horrid. Four-way entry matches that lead to the worst finals you've seen in years. This shit sucks.
like it feels like a no-brainer that they should do Obafemi versus Javon Evans, but no one has faith in this company to do that.
I would love to be wrong. I don't get me wrong. I don't want to be right. I don't care about being right. Like I would love for them to be like Obafemi versus Javon Evans at fucking Night of Champion finals. Hell yeah! Like there's a million reasons why that works, and I don't believe it's gonna happen. He's gonna get fucked over, by Brock Lesnar, and that's that. We're gonna accept that shit, like something. And listen, if he goes to the finals, that'd be great. And they do Obafemi versus Jey Uso or something, and the Bloodline beats Obafemi. I'm gonna be fucking sick. We'll see, man. We'll see how they handle this. But I don't have faith.
I mean, I don't blame you for not having faith. I always say that we probably shouldn't have faith in WWE to do the right thing. We should always assume they're going to do the wrong thing and then be pleasantly surprised if they do the right thing. So that's always the best way to go with them. Josh, what did you think about Friday Night SmackDown last night?
I thought it was okay. It was a better watch than it usually is. Ray Phoenix and Axiom had a fantastic match. That was a good match. It was just in front of the wrong crowd. It's just like, oh wow, like we finally got a glimpse of what Ray Phoenix is and what he should be. So that was good to see at least on his end. I thought like the Sammy and Cody stuff was good too. Like I thought that promo was pretty good. For some reason it gave people hope, like, oh my god, Sami Zayn's gonna win it's like, no, he's not gonna win, guys. He's not gonna get the belt. Like we gotta accept that. But it was a good segment. Like it was a good promo exchange. And then besides that, Jade, unfortunately, her wig fell off, unfortunately.
I've never seen that before.
I forgot to mention that. Yeah. Oh my god.
I've never seen that. But to her credit, at least she acknowledged it. Like she laughed. Like to her credit, at least like
you have to. Yeah, you gotta have to.
Like at least she laughed it off. I commend her for that, because that could have gone like worse than
it's funny, bro. A lot of women wear wigs, like especially in wrestling. Yeah. So I've never seen wig come off though. Like who used to have a lot of trouble? Mercedes, like Sasha, like her shit used to always be coming off, but it never came off. It used to fall a little back too. People used to be like, "Oh, her forehead's real big," but it was like, "No, man, she got her shit pushed up under there," and it's like. But this was next level. Like,
it was just like
there was no hiding it.
She got suplexed out of her wig, bro. It was
like the Shockmaster. Like how the Shockmaster, when he lost his helmet, he put it right back on. That's what she did.
Yeah.
She landed.
But no, it was like Shockmaster, but he's holding on to the helmet the whole entire promo. That's what it was.
She's got she's got like it's not, it's pushed back, so it's like slicked back, so it looked like she got a fucking hairline under there, and people are just
She got a taper and everything. Oh shit.
I was like, damn. I was like, no. I was like, oh no. Like, that was crazy.
I felt for her. I felt for her there. I was like, oh no, not the black girl. Don't do that to the black girl.
I was like, damn. And then she was facing Stephanie. And then she was facing Stephanie. That's like the worst. Like that's like the worst timing possible. Facing Stephanie.
No, when she came out for Tiffany, she had a whole new wig in, they retaped it up.
She had a headband. She had a headband over the wig. I was like, hey man.
That's what you gotta do.
And then besides that, I mean, like the solo stuff was cool. Like the promo itself was good. It's just like I said before, like Bloodline stuff. I'm like, I really don't know how I feel about it. I get it. They're going back to something that made them successful, but it was also kind of like an Alcatraz. It was like an anchor. You know what I mean? Like when it happened, because you were so focused on this and relying on it so much that once WWE stopped focusing on it, you kind of see where the product has gone. So going back to it, right now it's just like in a state of like, all right, we're trying to figure out where we're gonna go with this because there's nothing compelling about it, at least not yet. And I just don't know where that would go, because it just comes off almost, I mean, obviously the same stuff, but like I said last week, when it comes to Roman himself, like it feels like there's a pattern where Roman that they always kind of go back to like this reunion stuff, like how many Shield reunions we had, and then now you're running back to Bloodline stuff again. This time you have Jade being a nutcase compared to like when he was a Bloodline the first time, and then King of the Ring stuff. Am I surprised that Jade won? No, I just kind of just accepted it, and I knew the internet will burn because of it. Pretty sure he knows too. He's probably gonna write another IG story saying like, "I'm your favorite wrestler," so I accept. I'm your favorite wrestler. Like I'm the best in the world. Yeah, y'all could just gonna have to deal with it. So I look forward to his IG story at least. But as far as like the final, I mean, I don't know. Like obviously, I would love to see Javon Evans and Oba. Like that's something new, something fresh. As in like pushing younger talent, in that aspect, but I don't see that happening, unfortunately. But you can only hope. But obviously, with Jay winning, I mean, to me, that's just a comment. I'm like, yeah, Jay's probably gonna win. And it wouldn't even surprise me if he wins King of the Ring. Like it will surprise me more if Oba wins, just because of the whole Brock stuff. If he wins, I would love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, oh yeah, thank God they went with King Oba. But I just don't really see it happening because of that playing a factor. So we'll see what happens with that. But overall, SmackDown was decent.
Do you think there is a chance that they have Charlotte win the Queen of the Ring?
Yeah.
If she pins Liv Morgan in that match, then they kind of have to do a rematch. I don't know. I guess you can take that momentum to a Rhea Ripley match, but it didn't seem like they were building towards that.
No, it seems like they are very kind of hesitant to do anything with Rhea at this point because of the we'll talk about that as well.
Too.
Yeah,
but before we move on, I did want to say about the Bloodline thing. If Roman was gathering the family because of some threat, like if he was trying to get Solo back because there's something out there they need to fight against and he can't do it alone, that probably would be more compelling than just the randomness of him bringing the Bloodline back together just because, like, I need them, my family. It's been long enough, Solo. Like, what?
They have turned Roman Reigns into Vin Diesel. He's Dominic Toretto. He's Roman Toretto. He just wants
family. But maybe apologize to them. You've never done that, have you? There's never been.
You should try a new way to do this. Like maybe you should apologize.
It's so interesting because he's had this long storyline. He had the title for 4 years or whatever, but there was not an ounce. It wasn't like they used that time to arc his character or develop his character. He was just a dickhead, and then he was a dickhead against bigger dickheads, and then he was a big head against like people that weren't dickheads. So like that, nothing changed. Nothing has changed about him. Like he didn't come back this time around. Like I actually love you guys. I manipulated you this time around. We're gonna really be family. It's just like come back, and then the Usos were like, okay.
The way you said it. Oh my god.
That's it. That's all it takes. This is a fucking 2K video game storyline. You just click yes, and now you're in the bloodline again.
Because it you know, they actually made a great point about Roman, about his development, because what we saw for Roman for so long, a lot of people didn't like. So when we started getting this new version of Roman, I think that's why you kind of got away with a lot, because we saw something different from Roman. So they're in a situation where you kind of didn't need to develop him, but you kind of see like, oh, maybe they probably should have down the line. But
yeah, like literally how he turned. If you go back, like if we tell the story of how Roman Reigns turned into a babyface after being the biggest like final boss villain in WWE, you would have to check your notes, go back to 2024 in April, and then his return in 2024 of August, and be like, oh, he just left.
That was it.
That's how he turned babyface.
That was it. He came back and people were happy to see him, and they were like, "Okay, babyface." Like,
yeah,
nothing.
That's exactly what happened.
There's no storyline development. There's no Roman realizing that he manipulated and he's having a coming to Jesus moment. Like at least with the Shield like reunion, they did a long arc of Seth Rollins redeeming himself to Dean Ambrose, and then Roman came aboard with the whole group because they had a common enemy, a common threat. You're absolutely right when you said that. John, that's something that's missing in the whole Bloodline reunion storyline, is that there's no threat to them. The only threat is themselves, because Roman only wants to work with his family.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. So that's what it's like. Okay, I follow Hollywood trades, I follow Hollywood news and all that. So like, you see this in Hollywood all the time. They get scared. They took a chance on something, it didn't work out the way they want, and they're gonna go back to fucking making 8 sequels. You're like, we're making Toy Story 6. You know, like we're making Bloodline 6 now. Like that's what we got, guys. I'm sorry.
Even though I did hear Toy Story 5 cooked,
and that's what I'm saying. Like that's what they believe. Like, okay, Moana 2, they made $1 billion, so no more of that fucking Elio shit. Like, no more original stories. We need fuck that Cody Rhodes shit didn't work. Bloodline 7, man. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. And that's where we are now. So it wasn't like they did this with some grand plan. Paul Heyman, we're in inning 3. You know, fucking inning 3. You never knew how this game was gonna end, and now we're here in the 14th inning, and like, I don't know. I don't even know if they can put together a threat for the Bloodline now, because you put them together first. So like, who the fuck is going to come against 18 Samoans? Like, one Samoan is big enough. 18 of them? That's a wall of flesh that I don't think a person can penetrate at all. Like, what are you putting together? Random heels, random baby faces now, and they're supposed to beat them at Survivor Series? This is the backwards bullshit that they always do.
Yeah. I do like it though, with Solo standing up to him. That was like probably one of the Solo's like best promos on last night's episode. I would think that this you like you said, John, that it could lead to another Roman and Solo matchup, another like tribal combat. But I think that Roman should do what like Jacob, like how Solo's promo came across to me. It was like they were answering a lot of like fan criticism to Jacob joining the Bloodline. What they should do is turn around and like address criticism or a flaw in their storytelling. Roman should bring up, I already beat you in tribal combat. You already have to acknowledge me as the tribal chief. Like, I should have to beat you again. Maybe they do something interesting where they have Jacob versus Solo. If Solo loses, he has to join the Bloodline. But if Jacob loses, he loses his job. He loses his because that's what he said. Like he said in his reasoning in that backstage segment, he was like, I made a commitment. I'm standing by my commitment. The commitment was you get to keep your job because you're in tribal combat, and you also get to keep your job if you just acknowledge Roman and join the bloodline. They should bring that into play and make that more of an obvious storyline where Jacob is basically forced to be in the bloodline if he wants to keep his job.
It seems to me right now, if I had to guess, that Solo Sikoa is going to be the one to put together a team against the bloodline. And that's kind of like, it's like, and the team that it looks like he's going to put together is not even like this all the top guys or whatever. It's like Solo and Royce Keys and Damian Priest and R-Truth, you know? What the fuck is this?
This is like the freaking small soldiers versus the U.S. Army. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? But yeah, we'll see what happens within the bloodline drama as it continues on. I don't think that Jey Uso is winning, though. I think that probably next week in the semifinals, Solo and the MFTs try to get involved and they screw him over, and Javon makes it to the finals.
That'd be cool. That'd definitely be cool. It'd be cool for Javon. Javon making it to the finals, even if he doesn't win. That's big. That's really
exactly. Exactly, which segues nicely into Monday Night Raw this past week. Monday Night Raw on Netflix took place from Paris, France, and what a crowd it was. They went ballistic for the opening segment that had Oba Femi kicking off the broadcast to a thunderous reaction from Paris, France. After addressing Brock Lesnar and the King of the Ring tournament, Dominic Mysterio came out to interrupt, causing a distraction for JD McDonough for a steel chair shot to the back of Femi, who didn't even sell it, didn't even flinch before smacking the chair in McDonough's big head. You had Dom, who hits a 619, but then when he jumps off the ropes, Oba catches him and launches him across the ring to stand tall before telling Dom that we all know that Rey Mysterio is his father, but next week Oba will be his daddy. Chad Gable went on his apology tour on Raw, continuing it with segments with Penta and Rey Fenix, as well as Dragon Lee, to apologize before Rey reminded him that he did some things probably before he even put on the mask that he should regret as well. This led into Penta defeating Rey Mysterio in an awesome encounter to retain the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Post-match, you had Rusev and Ethan Page interjected themselves after Rey and Penta showed respect. They jumped them with Rusev removing Rey's mask. After Dragon Lee tried to help, this led to Chad Gable making the real save here as he went crazy with German suplexes and ankle locks to stand tall with the rest of the luchadors before giving Rey his mask back and getting the respect of all the Lucha Libre talent. You had Sol Ruka picked up a win over Lyra Valkyria in a good match to retain the WWE Women's Intercontinental title. The Bloodline confronted Seth Rollins over his comments on Roman Reigns, which led to Seth calling Jimmy and Jay Roman's bag boys. After Jay told him to get Seth, Jacob Fatu stared down with Rollins before walking off. This led to Fatu calling out the Usos for allowing LA Knight to talk trash about the family. LA Knight came out for a promo where he alluded to the Bloodline getting involved in his King of the Ring first round match on SmackDown, and he was right, until Jey Uso interrupted to fire a warning shot. However, you got Knight, who got the last word and last laugh by telling Jay, "Screw your family." And then finally, in the tournament matches on the show, you had Liv Morgan beat Chelsea Green, Alexa Bliss, and Becky Lynch to advance to the Queen of the Ring semifinals against Charlotte Flair next week, while Javon Evans scored a huge victory over Ricky Saints, Tala Tonga, and Seth Rollins in a great four-way to advance to the King of the Ring semifinals, where he will face Jey Uso next week on SmackDown, thanks to outside interference from the Vision, who cost Seth this win. Josh, you talked about it a little bit before. What did you think about Monday Night Raw, and most notably the Chad Gable redemption arc? Uh-oh. Did Josh freeze again? There you go. You're back, Josh?
I think I'm back. Am I back?
Yes, you seem like you're back. What did you think about the storyline with Chad Gable with his whole redemption arc?
I mean, like I said, I've been liking it. I like that how they they put a seriousness to him just because of what happened. Because obviously when he was El Grande, the whole thing was that he was basically mocking luchador, lucha libre. He was mocking like the history of it. So the fact that now they're going like super serious, I like the fact that they went that route because you have to. He lost the match, he got exposed. So now you have to do something, that makes it serious, that you show he's shown like since like that he's remorseful for what he did. So I like all that stuff, especially doing the promos for each luchador. But then, to top it off, him coming out to save him and then giving Ray his mask back. I've been liking it. I like the stuff. I like when they do things like this. Why? Because sometimes when you don't try too hard, sometimes it's okay. And I feel like they're not really trying hard when it comes to this. Like everything feels organic, like it feels natural. And I like when WWE does stuff like that. So I mean, like I said, I've liked this more. Like this is like probably like the storyline that I like that they've been doing lately. And then besides that, Raw was good. I thought Raw was pretty good, honestly. I thought it was really good. No, they had some good matches. Javon Evans winning was a shocker because, we just didn't expect Javon to win. So it was good to see that. What else am I missing? Liv wins. I'm not surprised by that. I thought that made sense. So I mean, overall, I thought it was a good episode of Raw.
Yeah. I thought the crowd really elevated everything, and there was good wrestling on the show between the main event, Penta and Ray, as well as the Sol Ruca and Lyra Valkyria show. So honestly, one of the best Raws this year have been from Europe. So US needs to step their fucking game up, because the Ireland episode with Finn and Punk was one of the better episodes. Last week in Italy was great as well, and then this week in France, that was like the best Raw probably of the year so far. John, any thoughts on Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, I gotta echo what you guys said. There were great matches on it. The Sol Ruca Lyra Valkyria match was good, and that's good for Sol, who I thought these two should have been the ones working together more anyway. They're the contemporaries, and they can help each other grow. Where it's like you had her so fucking nervous, like against Becky Lynch on day one, and it's like, damn, threw her in the water to drown. Luckily, she could swim, but yeah, that was good. The Ray Penta match was good. The post match with Chad Gable was really good, because I was like, man, I hope they don't do these fucking apologies for the next 6 weeks. They tend to stay in the holding pattern.
Yeah.
So they got that rolling. Yeah, main event. I thought Seth Rollins was going to win for sure. So and they even set the match up that way. So I was like very surprised when Javon Evans got the win, and that held my enjoyment of it, because it was already a good physical match. And I thought that was such a weird lineup too. I was like, look at Tala Tonga in there. What the fuck?
They made him look good in that matchup
He looked good. He looked good. Everybody was like flying around him and like crashing into him, and it was great. It was a good match. And so yeah, it was probably the best Raw in a while. It was good crowd, good wrestling. They were light on the Bloodline bullshit compared to SmackDown, which is crazy, because the Bloodline belongs on Raw, I think. Since he just took over Cody's show for no reason.
Because Cody is not we talked all about SmackDown, didn't bring up the Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn stuff, other than Josh with a small mention of it. Like that's how much Roman and the Bloodline have took over both shows.
It's insane. Like I know Roman's the star, but damn, it's nuts. The instant shift after WrestleMania. Like holy shit.
But we said this,
we
John.
did.
We
We
literally
did.
said
I
this.
didn't
We was
think
like,
it was gonna be like
Roman
that.
won the political war, and if you think that Cody is even close to Roman politically, just watch Raw and SmackDown since WrestleMania. It's been quite obvious who is in control.
It really is, and he's like, I'm just gonna work with my cousins. This is what you did, Cody. You let this happen.
I gave you a chance. I left for 2 years. He kept coming back, so it's funny him saying, "I gave y'all 2 years, but y'all couldn't do it. So now I'm here, and I'm here to do my bloodline stuff."
Family. Yeah.
Family. But yeah, Chad Gable I thought was the absolute superstar. That reaction that he got from that Paris France crowd, I was like, strap the rocket to him, put him in the King of the Ring tournament, have him win, have him face Roman in his home state in Minnesota. But I think John is probably right. We're probably looking at him and maybe Penta in Minnesota. That's the highest that we can get on the Chad Gable scale. But it's crazy to me how many opportunities Triple H has had to push Chad Gable to the next level, and he gets like his third opportunity with it within the last 4 years.
That's the thing too, and I don't want anybody to be like, "Oh, you see what happens when you're patient." Like, no. You dropped the ball on Chad Gable several times leading up to this, and if you don't do this right, it'll be just another time when you drop the ball on Chad Gable. At least if he faces Penta at SummerSlam for the title, it brings the fucking Lucha story full circle. Because it started with Penta and so it can end with Penta. Of course, I don't know what the fuck they're going to do after, and I don't have the biggest faith in the world in them, but maybe.
Maybe they could do something finally, but yeah, I don't have that much faith. That's why I've been going off the deep end and say, put him against Roman at SummerSlam. Stop being a coward. Go all the way. I'm sick of this pussyfooting around. I talked about it last week that they give these young guys or these stars that haven't gotten the opportunities. They give them crumbs instead of giving them a full meal. Give somebody, one of these people, just choose one. It could be an older guy like Chad Gable. It could be a young star like Obafemi, but just give one of these guys a full meal. I guarantee you will like the results of it afterwards. But I'm not going to have faith in that. We got another super chat donation from our good brother Vala. Thank you so much, Vala, for the support. Who says Code Berto Ramos is a nothing, a nobody, and going nowhere. Please lose to Gunther and turn heel or something.
It seemed like he was gonna lose to Gunther at one point, and now they're like, oh, the match is next week on SmackDown with Sami Zayn as a special guest rep. So pretty sure at some point this can be a triple threat where Cody drops the belt and doesn't get pinned. And it's like,
I think that's the Night of Champions main event, probably.
Half-assed bullshit. If you're gonna beat him, then beat him. You already killed him. His whole post WrestleMania, it's like shit. What do you think not getting pinned is gonna do for him?
It's like they keep trying, and that's like, yeah, I don't have too much faith that Gunther's winning next week, because that's like telling me, you're basically telling me that the WWE in the year of our Lord 2026 is gonna have 3 undisputed WWE championship title changes in the year. That would be the third, because Cody lost to Drew on the second SmackDown of the year. Then he won it from Drew on the SmackDown after Elimination Chamber. I don't think they're going to do a third next week.
I think so. Oh, not next week. Certainly not next week. Certainly not on SmackDown. I think there's still some story left anyway. Like Sami Zayn's got to get on Gunther's bad side too. So we'll see how that goes.
Yes. I think Sami gives haluva kicks to everybody, and somehow Cody walks out the champion to set up the triple threat at Night of Champions, which makes sense because Sami can only get title shots in Saudi Arabia.
It's the truth in this company. No, it's coincidence. Okay.
It's just a coincidence. What are you talking about, pal? But let's talk about the big controversy of the week. because I didn't even hear about this until our good friend here, the birthday boy, John Escudero, hits me up on, I think this was what, Tuesday? You just hit me up. You be like, did you hear about the CM Punk controversy? I was like, I take sporadic like breaks from social media, and I did that, and I didn't see anything until you brought it to my mind, and then I look it up, I search CM Punk, and that's everything comes up like gangbusters. So the question this week is, where is CM Punk, and why did this controversy even start? Let's talk about it. Former WWE World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk has been away from weekly television since the Raw after WrestleMania, after losing to Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania 42. Amid his absence, rumors have been circulating that CM Punk is upset with WWE and on the outs with TKO and WWE management. These rumors were stemmed from an unverified source named Jacob, who has shown in the past to not be the biggest CM Punk fan. He got a lot of people talking with this long thread where he talked about several different things going on with CM Punk to explain his absence, that Punk was upset with the booking of AJ Lee, that he politicked for something heading into WrestleMania that he didn't get, that he was saying goodbye to different people backstage on the Raw after WrestleMania, several different things to explain why he's been away all these weeks. A new report from Mike Johnson of PW Insider had debunked the unsubstantial claims. You get Johnson, who reported that he spoke to a trusted WWE source who debunked the rumor, saying that it has as much truth to it as the stories that claim Saudi Arabia brought us years ago. While the source wasn't aware of the reason behind CM Punk's ongoing absence from WWE television, it noted that new merchandise for the Best in the World is currently under production and that Punk's appearances for this summer have been locked in. A new report had more details on the debunked rumors surrounding CM Punk's absence from WWE TV and his status with the company. The rumors had become one of the top trending topics on social media, despite not coming from an actual news outlet. Fightful Select had posted a report breaking down the rumors and reporting what they've been told about them, which in basically every case runs counter to said rumors. The rumors, without giving them too much voice or validity, were basically that Punk and WWE had some sort of issues leading to him wanting that range from everything. And for complete 100% clarity, Fightful made it clear that none of the claims were able to be verified, and the report notes that they spoke with dozens of people in WWE and none have heard that Punk wanted out of his contract. None of the talent had heard or believed that he had asked to take a pay cut either, which was one of the reports, that he had been asked to take a pay cut, which that was probably the craziest of the rumors that I heard. One source confirmed PW Insider's report that Punk has a storyline coming up soon and said new merchandise and dates are being produced and planned for this summer. The same source said that he is not off TV for disciplinary reasons following attacking the fan with the cell phone during WrestleMania weekend. The report goes on to reiterate also that AJ Lee is not eminently planned for a television return. And it goes on to say that Lee was never planned to be a full-time performer, despite reports stating otherwise. And WWE sources scoffed at the notion that Punk was mad over something about Lee. The plans for Lee's return run were planned by the time they came back, and she completed the run as planned. The site notes that even sources who have never been keen on Punk returning to the company claim that they've heard nothing to these rumors or that he wanted out. There was a weird speculation point on Twitter of Punk potentially returning to AEW if he leaves WWE. There are those in AEW who have long believed that the two sides would mend fences, even if he never returns to the company. Long story short, though, there is nothing discernible to any of the rumors, according to Fightful, but they did not outright debunk the rumors. They just said the sources that they spoke to didn't verify any of them. WrestleVotes Radio on Fightful Select had an update as well. WrestleVotes Radio spoke to several sources from within WWE who all expect Punk to be back on WWE TV as soon as July. Additionally, Punk is reportedly expected to have a significant role leading into this year's SummerSlam. One source informed WrestleVotes that signs point to Punk returning on or by Monday, July 6th. That edition of Monday Night Raw will take place from Punk's hometown of Chicago at the Allstate Arena. Although WWE has not officially confirmed the date for Punk's return, the commonly held belief is that his TV return is around the corner. Additionally, WrestleVotes Radio's latest update says none of the WWE sources indicated that there was any concern regarding the recent rumors or speculation regarding Punk having issues with WWE or TKO management. It's also said that there was no discussion of any issues between the two parties. However, the report notes that if there are any concerns, the issues are being kept exponentially quiet. CM Punk last appeared on the Raw after WrestleMania, where he did tease a program with Cody Rhodes, but there was no indication on when that match would go down. Then Wrestling Observer newsletter had a new report saying that CM Punk is reportedly set to be part of Friday Night SmackDown once he returns to weekly television. Dave Meltzer provided an update on WWE's plans for Punk once he returns to TV. According to Meltzer, Punk took time off as WWE didn't have immediate plans locked in for him post WrestleMania, and he will return once his storyline is ready to start. Punk is reportedly set to return to also Meltzer heard about the July 6th episode of Monday Night Raw in Chicago. Though he is slated to return via Raw, Meltzer noted that the Best in the World is set to be part of the SmackDown roster moving forward, with a feud between him and Cody Rhodes being the planned direction. The seeds for that was set on the Raw after WrestleMania when they had a tense confrontation. A new report from Wrestling Observer newsletter also offered some insight into how WWE views the top stars on SmackDown and why Punk is likely to end up on the blue brand. After an absence since the Raw after WrestleMania, he will reportedly return on SmackDown, and according to the report, WWE felt Punk made more sense on SmackDown given the amount of star power already featured on Raw. They also added that WWE currently sees SmackDown's top stars as undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes, Gunther, and WWE Women's Champion Rhea Ripley. Punk is reportedly expected to join the group moving forward. The report also noted that Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre are viewed internally as part of that top tier of talent on SmackDown. And internally, Raw is reportedly viewed as the top tier as Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, the Usos, Jacob Fatu, Obafemi, Logan Paul, and Braun Breaker. So where in the world is CM Punk, and what did you think of all the kind of the trickle down effect that happened due to the rumor started by Jacob, all the numerous reports we've heard from the WrestleVotes, False Finish, Wrestling Observer, Fightful in the days since then? And do you think that there's smoke where there's fire, and then maybe this is a game of wrestling telephone where Punk probably said something that got translated 3 or 4 different ways since then and got to Jacob? What do you think, John?
Boy, I think that the one thing that a lot of people skipping over, because it's like, I know a lot of people just wanted to hear whether or not this is true. Oh, did it happen? Did not happen? That's it. He's just an old man. He was just taking time off, you see? And it's like, well, you know, the thing about these rumors is that Jacob didn't just make them up.
Yeah.
They were floating around the industry. No one was willing to talk about them because they couldn't verify them, and their jobs are on the line. So they can't. But Jacob doesn't have a job that was on the line. He just said what he heard. And so obviously people in the company are like, I don't know. I didn't hear about that. And it's like, well, I don't know. Some of the things that he was talking about are not on the level that I think would come out immediately. Those are the kind of things that drip out over time. Well, we know for sure. And it's like, people are like, well, what? Why can't CM Punk just take some time off without all these rumors? Why don't you fucking ask CM Punk? How many times has this motherfucker lost his temper and abandoned the company? Like, how many times has that happened? That's happened 3 times. You know, like that's happened in 3 different places. So like, there's a history here. Of course, if he disappears from television and it looks suspicious, of course there's going to be conversation. If you leave water in a certain area without addressing it, it will develop mold. These are things that happen. It's just natural. The question is actually really funny. I think it's almost it's I guess you're trying to hide, you put your head in the sand if you want, but no. Every conversation that people had this week about CM Punk was fucking justified. There's like there was justification in speculation. But whether he turns out to be leaving or not, I mean, likely it's not likely that he's leaving the company. It's not likely that he's ever going back to AEW, even if he builds the bridge or whatever. No, they're not going to disrupt their locker room like that. You know, like there's a million reasons why he's going to come back to WWE in 3 weeks, but that doesn't answer what happened here. I'm gonna be interested in hearing what happened here sometime down the line, because I believe something happened. I don't believe that he just was old and they gave him time off, because why the fuck did they have him on television specifically saying that he was not going to take time off? Because I remember on our WrestleMania post show, I fucking said, okay, he's either going to take time off and disappear, you're not going to see him on Raw, or you're going to put him right in another program. And then when he came out on Raw, I took note of the fact that he said, I'm not going anywhere, because I was like, oh, so they're going to put him in another program. And then the fucking pay cut happened and he disappeared. And so it's like, okay, they didn't ask him to take pay cuts. Fine, sure, he's a ticket mover or whatever. I'm very interested in knowing what happened, because the timing is interesting. You know, that's all. It is.
I agree. I think that's the main reason. Like, I thought that the whole talk about it online was much ado about nothing, but I'm not saying that the rumors were much ado about nothing. I think that the conversation around it was much ado about nothing, but the rumors, the fact that you had people like Sean Ross Sapp and John Alba said that they also heard those like similar rumors, but they didn't report on it because they can never get it verified, and they don't report on anything that is like an unverified rumor. And like you said, Jacob said that the whole reason that he wanted to put it out there is because he felt like it wasn't being covered, it wasn't being talked about, and he doesn't have, like, he's not a part of any outlet with any type of reputation, and he doesn't like Punk. He's made that clear as well. So I think that's what it really came down to. What did you think about all the conversation that went down about this CM Punk controversy, and when do you expect to see him again, Josh?
I mean, in regards to it, I thought it was a whole lot of nothing, because I was just like, Punk is not leaving. You know, but you know, with this guy, you know, basically, I want to say spreading rumors, but you know, spreading what happened, or supposedly what happened. I did kind of take it with a grain of salt on my end, just because like Jacob is known to not like the guy. Jacob is known to make you know, sometimes tribalist-esque tweets. So sometimes with accounts like that, I mean, I try not to take them serious, because obviously to me that's more of like an agenda. Like, you have a personal agenda to get out there. So that's why I'm like, you know, I didn't take it serious because of that. You know, we have a few accounts like that on X, and the fact that this even caught steam, I was just like, man, the bar really is set low these days now on social media. But I mean, some of it could be true, you know, because it's CM Punk at the end of the day. So that's why
exactly. I think that's also you hit it right on the nail. That's also why this got as like spread and as kind of big of a topic as it is because Punk has this reputation. It's a reputation that he's never going to be able to shake off, because like John said, he's done it 3 different times. So it's not out the realm of possibility that Punk could be disgruntled at any point within the WWE run. I just think that I kind of thought against it, mainly because he doesn't really have that much of a choice. Like, I would love to be like, oh, Punk's gonna get another run in AEW, but I think there's a lot of damage control to do over there that Punk is not interested in doing, and he's making enough money where he could just be done with wrestling after this run.
Yeah, and then also it's just a lot of layers going back to AEW that they would have to tackle. The biggest one would be the Bucks, right? How is his relationship with the Bucks? Because that was one of the biggest things that kind of did ruin everything. Because when apparently the rumor was he was willing to work with them, they didn't want to work with him. You know, so that's a big factor to that. And that's why I don't see him going back to AEW. I could see him being cool with like TK again, but not as, you know, not as far as like working wise. You know, that's, you know, but that's something personal. I don't know about their relationship, so I can't really speak on that. But I just don't him, like, he seems comfortable with WWE now. Like, he likes where he's at. This is what he wanted with WWE the first time he left. You know, so he's in a prime spot where, you know, he's a top guy. He's probably number 2 to Roman. I mean, he's in a situation where he pretty much got what he wanted. And why would he leave his spot right now? Like, I don't think it would be a smart choice either way. Even if this was true, right? Say that if this was true, I think it would be pretty dumb on his end, because I'm like, bro, we all know for a fact you ain't getting no like mid-card title run. Like, you're past that point. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you're not getting that. That's not going to be you anyway. But I could see some things that are true, you know, like creative wise, like, oh, what are you gonna do creative wise going forward? Oh, you know, like, I don't think the wife stuff is that deep, because, you know, Punk has been very open about his, like, you know, about AJ Lee in wrestling, right? He's not gonna force her to do anything. He's not gonna do, you know, he's like, if she doesn't want to do it, she's not gonna want to do it. So that's why to me, like, that rumor is kind of just like, that's a nothing burger for me personally.
Yeah, because it was also like, why would he be upset? Like, she got a title run, she got a top program with freaking Becky Lynch. Like, what was there to be upset about that run for AJ Lee? Like, honestly.
Yeah, and then he's also very protective of her, like, of her health and her, you know. So that's why I didn't buy. I'm that's the main thing I'm not buying. Me personally, I'm not buying the whole AJ Lee stuff. But again, it is Punk, and that's why I'm like, to me, it was a whole lot of nothing. You know, and as far as him coming back, he's gonna come back in a few weeks. You know, just because this is gonna be their way to make themselves look good, right? This will be their way of like, oh, see, the rumors were fake. This was false. They're probably gonna feed into that, and they're probably gonna feed into like the tribalists who are gonna use that against somebody. You know, they might use it against Fightful. Fightful never reported anything. They never said anything.
Exactly. But you know, Triple H will say some smart shit. Be like, you see the dirt sheet. Dirt sheet said Punk was going to be here, huh?
No, it was just made
all part of the show.
Yeah. The thing is,
you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was like It was like some idiot that decided to go out of his way to. I want to call it a report because he's not a reporter. So it was like he just made some tweets that caught some attention. He got what he wanted, you know. So it's like it was good for him, I guess. I don't know. He doesn't even have a fucking profile picture on X. Why did he doesn't. Why did we take him seriously?
He's got scoops. He's scooped in the past.
He's gotten probably, it feels like now at this point he's gotten more wrong than right, but he has gotten stuff right, so it's not out the realm of possibility.
I like that. Of course, I have media literacy, so I can see the different layers. You can see the levels of rumors, reports, and actual official statements, and it's like, I like that there's a level of rumors that exist like this. This guy is clearly talks to people who are in the business. I mean, it's funny. I mean, people are like, he's got no picture. We've seen it before. We've seen him have these conversations before. I like that people are willing to say the things that can't be reported on. I like those conversations. They're fun. Yeah, I guess.
That was funny.
Yeah, but I'm glad to see the conversations happen because I mean they're happening anyway. Let's be real. It's okay. Nobody's gonna get hurt. CM Punk's contract is not going anywhere. His job isn't going anywhere. His life isn't gonna change. He'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna hurt him. It's not gonna hurt anybody. But it's just the fact that it's just funny when things happen like this to this effect. Whereas, like, we're gonna believe some guy that hates CM Punk. At least on my end, that's why I didn't take it seriously because it's like it's like imagine me going on going on X, right? And I start TNA rumors, right? People know that I don't fuck with TNA, so they're not gonna take me seriously, right?
Did you hear something though? If you heard something and you go on X with it, I want to hear it. I don't know if it's true or not. That's
the thing, though. Like, there's things that I hear all the time. Like, there's things that I always hear all the time.
Make a burner and put them shits on X.
I don't.
Don't put no profile pic, by the way.
Bro, it's not. Don't even hint at your name. Jacob goes too far. He told people he lives in New York. I would never have even done that. You know,
I would have done that.
I mean, there's things that I hear all the time. But I just don't post it because at the end of the day, at least for me, like it's not really in my place to say anything. Also, if it's just a rumor, I'm not going to post it. Like even if I want attention or even if I hear about it or like, oh my God, people are not really talking about this. Who gives a fuck? You know, at that point, it's like, so they're not going to talk about it because if it's not being verified, they're not going to report on it. Why? Because that's their reputation. SRS is not going to talk about it. Because if it's not verified, that ruins his reputation. You know what I mean? So
it
the fact that
me of the New York Post, page 6. You know, the gossip in Hollywood.
Yeah,
I like that stuff exists. I genuinely do. Yeah. It's so fun. if you're not talking about like you're not talking about fucking hidden cancer diagnosis that they don't want to bring up or somebody's medical history that they're hiding or like some personal thing like. You know, it's all fucking great. This is fun as hell. It's, you know, obviously there's a line, and I just don't think we're anywhere near it with this CM Punk conversation. It's not like, oh my God, he found out Punk has AIDS. I don't think, and he told everybody, you know, like,
because the thing is like, do I think Jacob crossed the line? No, I don't think he crossed. I think we had an incident, maybe it was last year that people crossed the line, yes, but I'm not going to bring that up for obvious reasons. But I don't think he crossed the line just because it's like, oh yeah, this guy hates CM Punk, so of course he's gonna post something about CM Punk that's negative. You know what I mean? But but he didn't say anything like groundbreaking. He didn't say anything that's like out of the realm, right? Because even if it's true, it's like, well, it's CM Punk. Is anybody surprised at it?
Exactly.
So that's why
I really don't think that anybody, if it was like if SRS came on his report and said, yeah, this is all true. I don't think anybody would be like, oh,
you know,
no one would even bat an eye. Everybody would be
like, you see, that's the Phil I know. That's the Phil that I know.
You know what though? For what it's worth, when before Jacob said anything, like blurted it out, and people were saying there's rumors. Sean Sapp went and got on Twitter like, oh, we're gonna address the rumors tomorrow too on our regular speculation segment, like. He helped that shit along, okay? Like he can sit and act innocent all he wants, but that tweet gives Sean just a little bit of credibility.
Sean specifically did say on the hump this week.
On the hump,
he's not.
24 hours later,
he's not gonna say that the rumors are false because he heard the same rumors. Yeah. He just can't get it verified by anybody.
But I just wanted to put that out there. Like, I hope he doesn't want to be like, oh my gosh, I can't, you know, these rumors and speculations all bullshit. Like, bro, you were right there, okay? We were all in the room talking shit together. I want you to act like an act innocent, bro.
Short King the Goat say a question for SP3 and the crew. If you're TK and you had a choice to bring back one, who would you choose between Punk or Cody?
Cody.
I would pick Punk.
I would pick Cody.
If you're saying in this fight for like, oh, like this is a Earth 2 and not in this reality, if he can like rebuild the bridge, Punk is obviously the bigger star. He's the bigger star. He's the one that has more interesting stuff to still do in AEW. And I'm sorry, I know there's a lot of people that love this second run with Punk in WWE. It don't hold a candle to those first 6 months in AEW. Those first 6 months in AEW, yeah, we had to deal with Punk just being happy to be here. But I think the only thing that's come close in his second run with WWE is the Drew McIntyre feud, but it just pales in comparison to the segments that he had with MJF. That MJF feud is still considered the best rivalry in AEW history. And the fact that it was never really finished. They went 1-1 and they were going to do the third matchup for the AEW World Championship, and we never got it. If he's able to rebuild it, Punk versus Kenny Omega could sell out any stadium in the world. Punk and FTR versus the Elite can sell out any stadium, any arena in the world if it was on pay-per-view. There is so much money to be made in CM Punk having another run. So if we're talking about a Earth 2, a different reality, it's CM Punk with a bullet for me.
I don't even think in another reality CM Punk goes back to AEW and is able to get along with the right people so that the right matches can happen. I don't think that those bridges are going to be able to be rebuilt. I think he can rebuild the bridge with TK all he wants. TK seems like a nice guy. I don't think that it's going to be a problem. I think all you got to do is tell him sorry or hi. I don't even think you got to apologize to the guy. You just going to fucking say hi. He's going to hug you. That's not going to be. I think that can happen on Earth 1, but that locker room, I don't know. I think that locker room will never. I think a lot of people in that locker room will never get past that moment, and because there was in their eyes, there was never the proper. Like he never got in trouble the way they think he should have, or whatever for whatever fucking crazy reason. I just don't think that it will ever work. I think that it would inevitably lead to another fight. I think they would just cycle. Yeah. It would just get right back into the cycle. That's why I said Cody. Because I think that he gets along with more people there, and that while there's a potential for more money to be made with CM Punk stories, more money would likely be made with Cody because he wouldn't fucking crash the fuck out and leave in 2 years. So he's gonna be back.
We were talking about, like I said, we're talking about a different reality where Punk can go back there and rebuild the bridge. That's the only. Who do I think? If the question was, who do I think would realistically go back? Yes, definitely Cody. But who do I think is more impactful for AEW? It's CM Punk every single time.
It would certainly be Punk, but I would not. My mind doesn't even allow me to imagine CM Punk not being, because it's so fundamentally him. There would have to be like a drastic change at some point in his history, or maybe in this world he hit his head in that Hell in a Cell match. It changed everything about him.
That's funny. Josh, who do you go with, Punk or Cody?
Probably Punk. Because Punk, that would be more compelling. That would be more like, that would create more buzz, more controversy when it comes to Punk. With Cody, I mean, the thing is with Cody is like the way that he left AEW, we still don't know like the reason why. He always teases it. He always puts something out there. He says people have gotten close to that. So whatever he's going through when it comes to that, I don't see it being repaired because of how vague he's been about it. Meaning, sometimes when you're vague about a situation like that, that means something must have happened that probably hurts you personally on a personal level that, you're never going to get past that. So I think in a way, I mean, Punk got nothing to lose. He goes back, he got nothing to lose. But we'll probably be getting better matches with Punk there anyway. Like Cody's, he had good matches in AEW. I just don't see a situation where it's like, okay, he's back in AEW. What's next for Cody? AEW World Championship run, that one that he never got because he decided to book himself like an idiot for a stipulation that didn't work. I'll go with Punk, to be honest.
I would, if it was Cody, I would have to be like, you have to turn heel. Don't even sign the contract if you're not willing to turn heel this time, because that's the only thing that we have left to do with you. But Let's talk about the other big story of the week. Vince McMahon's legal troubles seem to be going away, folks. The highly publicized lawsuit by WWE, former WWE employee Janel Grant and former WWE chairman and TKO executive Vince McMahon and WWE looks to be moving into private arbitration. Post Wrestling reports that Grant, McMahon, and WWE filed a joint motion on June 11th in the U.S. District Court for the District of Connecticut, requesting that the litigation continue in private arbitration. Grant filed a lawsuit against McMahon, former WWE executive John Laurinaitis, and WWE in January 2024, alleging sexual misconduct and sexual trafficking. Laurinaitis was later dropped from the lawsuit after he agreed to cooperate and provide evidence. McMahon and WWE have previously been pushing for the case to be moved into arbitration, citing an arbitration clause in the non-disclosure agreement that Grant signed with McMahon in 2022. Judge Sarah F. Russell has reportedly not yet ruled on the joint motion, but the report notes that courts rarely reject motions that all parties jointly request. Also, the filing states that the three parties are in active discussions regarding a potential agreement to operate the dispute in confidential arbitration. The new filing doesn't offer an explanation regarding Grant's charge and position, her willingness to take her lawsuit into private arbitration. Post Brandon Thurston also reports that an attorney for Grant did not immediately respond to a request for comment on the matter. Representatives for McMahon declined to comment on the development. Meanwhile, an inquiry to WWE's press representatives was reportedly not immediately responded to either. The lawsuit was scheduled for a hearing on Monday, June 16th. To argue the issue along with whether Grant would be allowed to retrieve evidence from the defendants supporting her litigation of the operation question. Today's filing also requests that the hearing be postponed or temporarily adjourned with an update scheduled for 3 weeks. Operation allows for legal disputes to be resolved without a public court. Until the filing, Grant argued that arbitration provision in her non-disclosure agreement shouldn't be in force, claiming that she was coerced into signing the agreement under duress. After Janel Grant filed her lawsuit in January 2024, Vince McMahon resigned from his position as executive of the board of TKO. McMahon denied Grant's allegations against him. The scandal regarding allegations of sexual misconduct against McMahon initially came out in the summer of 2022. However, Grant's name was not made public until she filed her lawsuit in January 2024. McMahon initially resigned from his post as chairman of WWE in July of 2022. He later returned the following year, facilitating the sale of WWE to WME. WWE and UFC later merged under the newly formed TKO banner later that year. Also, of course, with Janel Grant case, we always want to know if you know someone who is being abused or if you or yourself is a victim of sexual assault. Help is available. Call 1-800-656-4673. That's 1-800-656-4673 to be connected to the National Sexual Assault Hotline. But also, McMahon is also clear of another lawsuit in the news this week. The WWE shareholders lawsuit will not be going to trial. A new report had details on why the trial was canceled. The trial in the lawsuit over the WWE TKO merger was scheduled to start on Monday, but was taken off the schedule on Friday evening. The court administrator for the Delaware Court of Chancery, Tamara Burton, that the trial has been canceled, confirmed that the trial was canceled. And Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics and Post Wrestling confirmed on Sunday afternoon that the trial had been canceled due to a pending agreement between the two sides. Burton said to Thurston, at the parties' request, the trial is canceled. The parties have advised that the court that they will present the settlement for approval in due course. And essentially, that means that the two sides have agreed to an agreement to settle the suit. The lawsuit was filed in November 2023 against Vince McMahon, Nick Khan, Triple H, George Barrios, Michelle Wilson, and it alleged that the TKO merger resulted in damages to WWE shareholders by undervaluing WWE. It alleged that WWE's investigation into McMahon on sexual misconduct allegations was a sham and that McMahon manipulated the sale process to endeavor for his benefit. The claim was that this ultimately breached the defendant's fiduciary duty to shareholders, and a pre-trial briefing had been filed by the plaintiffs on Friday ahead of the trial that laid out their argument for why WWE was undervalued in the TKO merger. The plaintiffs cited an expert report by financial economist James L. Kenneth, who the plaintiffs retained, which estimates damages to shareholders as a whole range from $446 million to $949 million. A source close to McMahon reached out to Fightful Select and other outlets with a statement which alleged that the lawsuit, like the shareholders one, follows every single transaction involving a public company, and they argued that Endeavor bid for WWE was the best bid. The lawsuit was filed in November of 2023, and they were able to get by with a settlement, it seems. The full statement that they said from the source, this exact kind of litigation follows every single transaction involving a public company, but here's the key. Endeavor's bid was by far the highest, and it was signed off by 3 separate independent banks, JP Morgan, Rain, and Malos. That's why WWE's board of directors gave their unanimous approval, and the deal created the premier combat sports company, and the shareholders made an absolute fortune. Josh, what do you think about Vince McMahon's legal troubles seemingly going away in one fell swoop this week?
I mean, it was the best decision for him, as you know. I mean, unfortunately, we're not going to be covering it because I mean that's always good for content. But I mean, he made the best choice for himself. I mean, you know, he has the money. He could, they all agreed to it too. So I mean, it's not like just him. So it is what it is. They went through the legal system, and they found a way to compress it being public. So it's something that needed to be done on their sake. I'm not saying like in general, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
John, what did you think about everything going down with the Janel Grant lawsuit going private?
I mean, it's always complicated to talk about because, it's weird to take ownership of a conversation like that. It clearly belongs to her and to some effect him. But, they're going to pay, she's going to get paid. She's going to move on with her life. And I guess that's the best you can kind of ask for in a situation like this. That's kind of what she was trying to do in the first place, just get paid and move on with her life. And I know people have a problem with that. Oh, well, all she wants is to get paid. I don't know. I feel like she deserves it from this fucking guy in this fucked up world where there's pieces of shit like Vince McMahon and people like him can just pay to make things go away. And they can pay to not get in trouble, and they can pay to make sure everything goes the way they want it. Well, fuck it. Let her get a fucking piece of that. She deserves it. She had to deal with this old nasty fucking freaky piece of shit for all this time. And so it's just another case of rich people getting to do whatever they want and paying to wipe it all away. And if Vince McMahon was going to be in the Hall of Fame 2027, now they tell you that it's okay. They're going to tell you it's okay. Nothing happened.
You might be unfortunately right too.
It's what it is. It is what it is, brother. These court cases disappeared at the same time for the same reason. Like it's the same insurance payout. They're not gonna fucking. He's not even gonna come out of his pocket, man. He's not even gonna come out of his pocket. This other lawsuit too. As soon as Brandon Thurston went and got all those papers unredacted, and they found out we were going to find out more about that fucking case, and we were going to find out more about Vince, everyone just was like, no, never mind. We'll pay whatever they want. Get them out of there. Pay them whatever they want. That's how this fucking world works. It's depressing. It sucks, but how the fucking world works. It's a damn shame. I hope she gets a big bag.
Yeah, honestly, with everything that she's gone through, with everything that we've heard about this case, and then having to deal with kind of the public spotlight over the last 2 years, she deserves it all. And she has every right to want to take this private and not have this kind of played out in the way that it was about to. So all support to, Janel Grant and anyone who goes through what she had to go through with this whole thing. But We will see if there's any more updates, and of course, we will address it here on the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast.
She follows Dirt Sheet Radio on Instagram. So Team Janel, forever. You got one on your side, girl.
Team Janelle, for sure. We are here. We got Jose who says, I've been saying once the dust settles, we're going to see how fast TKO puts Vince back on TV. In the Hall of Fame might be it. Saudi Arabia Hall of Fame? Come on.
Just watch. Just fucking watch. Man. And then people are going to be like, oh,
Saudi Arabia Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Vince. Thank you so much for giving me WWE in my life. You fucking losers.
Unfortunately, it's about to happen. WrestleVotes Radio on Fightful Select had some new reports in regards to SummerSlam plans and stars making their way back, including Randy Orton. They had an update on 2 major names and 2 former WWE champions who have been absent from TV since WrestleMania 42. According to the report, an internal document was circulating earlier this month that included both Orton and McIntyre's name in connection to SummerSlam 2026. Orton and McIntyre last appeared at WrestleMania 42 Saturday. During the premium live event, McIntyre lost a singles bout to Jacob Fatu, and in the main event, Orton lost to WWE Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes. WrestleVotes Radio reports that sources indicate that both wrestlers are on track to return in time for this year's event in Minneapolis, Minnesota. No other details regarding their potential returns was made available, but it said that their inclusion in the document suggests that both veteran superstars are at least being considered for plans for the 2-day event. WWE has not yet announced when Randy Orton or Drew McIntyre will be returning to programming or if they will be appearing at SummerSlam in August. SummerSlam will take place on August 1st and 2nd at the US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And of course, it will air live on ESPN Unlimited. So, John, give me one matchup for Randy Orton at SummerSlam and one matchup for Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam.
Oh boy. It's who was Drew last involved with?
With
Jacob, right? And he just kind of like was like, "Fuck this, I'm leaving." Wasn't that the last thing?
Well, he lost the non-sanctioned matchup. It hasn't been seen since.
Okay, I was thinking of the false quitting thing he did.
No.
Yeah, I mean, he should just get back involved with Jacob, but unfortunately, with Jacob Fatu being in the Bloodline, that would mean getting involved in a Bloodline story like completely, and so. I guess it's not bad for him to get a title shot, but another Drew McIntyre title shot where he just loses. It's like,
yeah,
what are we fucking doing with that? I mean, I guess best case scenario for him, he comes back and he takes out some impactful babyface with a out of nowhere Claymore. Just gets right back into it. But I can't think of who. I really can't think of like a compelling new match for Drew McIntyre. I guess. I mean, he could go after Oba. If he got anything one,
that would be a good shot. I was gonna say with Punk potentially coming to SmackDown, I would probably pick McIntyre on Raw, and maybe you do him versus like a young up and comer, like someone like a Javon Evans or someone that he hasn't really feuded with, but he has history with in LA Knight, and play off of the whole drama that they had in 2025.
That'd be good for LA Knight too, who is just like. He's just floating, brother. He's just doing like he's just going against the Bloodline and losing in matches, losing. That'd be good for LA Knight. Randy is another one who could get involved with these same people that we're talking about with Drew. Get involved with Oba, get involved with Javon. Braun Breaker's doing fucking nothing. Tag team champion. He's gonna. Well, I guess he's got the Seth Rollins thing, but yeah, that's gotta end. At SummerSlam, hopefully, it seems like
I do kind of hope that they do continue telling the story of Orton and Cody, because the last time we saw him, he punted him in the head and then he just went away and they just stopped addressing it.
I wouldn't blame them if they did.
It's not their fault. It's not their fault. WrestleMania winds up like that.
But like. We would have to do like a complete 180 like immediately and make it clear because otherwise, people the first night people are gonna be like, "Get the fuck out of here! Keep that shit. We just did this." But yeah, that's Randy's towards the end of his career too. I mean, just get the important stuff out the way. Has he done a real feud with like Javon Evans? They've teased the connection there. And...
No, they haven't really done like a real feud between them. I would think that they would want to run back like classic feuds. So maybe another Punk feud if Punk's coming over to. If you don't want to go right into Punk and Cody, you could do Orton and Punk.
Orton and Punk. I kind of struggle to grab onto that, but I'm sure they'd cut some promo and Orton. But I mean, what's Orton gonna do? Hit the same lines everybody else is. You left for 10 years. I guess.
Oh, you can. What about you, Josh? What do you see for Orton and McIntyre at SummerSlam?
Maybe Orton versus Punk. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Drew is, on the other hand, is kind of that one's pretty tricky, just because like I wouldn't know what they would do with Drew, because the problem with Drew is like he was always falling into these kind of like Vortex-esque storylines that is like, who can you really pair him up with, right? Because even before that, Cody feud that went fucking 6 months, you know. I don't want to see them running that back. I don't know. Maybe like you said, like a new upcomer, I would say. That would be for, I think Drew versus Javon Evans would be pretty fun. They find a way to put a new young talent over, or whatever the case may be. I just don't know, because it's like, but then also it's like, it's a matter of if you keep him heel. So if he stays heel, you got to pair him up against a babyface, because even if I wanted like a scenario like Drew versus Trick or something like that, it's like, well, who's going to be the face and who's going to be the heel in that?
Oh, that would be Trick. It would be Trick as the babyface.
Yeah, so it's like, even with that, they haven't even committed to that. Like, I thought they were going that route. They haven't even committed to that. So it's like, it's a matter of what you do with Drew. It's like when he comes back, he's still going to be the heel guy. It's going to be the baby face. I think he works better as a heel than baby face, but what we've been getting lately with his heel stuff hasn't been good because of the booking. So it's like his situation is more complicated.
I think Drew has been he was the star of the Cody Rhodes rivalry. I think he's been a great heel since.
I know.
Well, I mean, as the booking,
I know what to do.
Like what they're doing with me, because like by the time he got the title, it was kind of like, it was like, yeah, it was cool to see him as champion again, but then it's like they didn't do nothing to follow that up. You know what I mean? Like they had him lose to Cody again. So
if they liked wrestling, Drew McIntyre would get into a program with the WWE champion Gunther, but they're not interested in matches. So you got to think about what kind of promos Drew McIntyre could cut with Gunther.
What type of fantastical story are we going to tell with Gunther and Drew? Neither one of those guys get a personality, man.
They can beat the shit out of each other. It's very simple.
It's not that simple. We got fantastical storytelling here.
If they grabbed the mic and they were like, I can beat the shit out of you. I can beat the shit out of you. People would be psyched for SummerSlam.
Well, I mean, they did have a 5-star match at Mania, the triple.
Yeah, the fucking three-way. You can do the damn WWE 20 minutes in the main event or semi-main event of a pay-per-view, man. That shit would be awesome.
I'll tell you, that'll be more compelling than what that Cody feud. I'll tell you that much.
You want to see Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes?
Who? Jey Uso, Mr. King Yeet. King Yeet.
I'm skipping that shit. I'm skipping the whole night if that happens.
Speaking of SummerSlam, WrestleVotes Radio had another report about a potential matchup for the show. According to the report, a singles match between former champions Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair has been pitched eternally for the premium live event. It was also reportedly penciled for the show at one point. They also talked about a potential matchup between JC Jane and Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's Championship, but we'll talk about Rhea's injury. The report about the Jade and Charlotte matchup notes that sources indicated that WWE creative team has been waiting for the right time to put together this first time matchup. The sources WrestleVotes Radio spoke to believe SummerSlam is the ideal setting for the match to take place. Although plans for the matchup might change, the feeling internally within WWE is that the time is nearing for Cargill versus Flair. However, Charlotte Flair has been getting involved with Jade Cargill on WWE programming in recent weeks. Of course, getting involved in Cargill's title rematch against Rhea Ripley at Clash in Italy. Flair emerged from the crowd and got involved and helped Rhea get the victory. However, Charlotte Flair got attacked by B-Fab, Meechin, and Jade Cargill on the post-show. WWE has not yet announced this matchup, but WWE SummerSlam 2026, like we said before, takes place on August 1st and 2nd, so we will see if they are heading towards Jade versus Charlotte. In what I thought was one of the more interesting news bits of the week, which came out yesterday, Kevin Owens' wife, Karina, is pissed off at Cathy Kelly. As reported previously, Cathy Kelly appeared on this week's edition of Insight with Chris Van Vliet. Kelly revealed that she had been diagnosed with autism. Cathy then further mentioned that Kevin Owens has been super supportive since her diagnosis, as he knows so much about it because of his son. Then you had Karina Elias Steen took to her Instagram story to take exception to Cathy disclosing her son's supposed medical history without seeking permission from her or Kevin. She wrote, "As someone who actively tries to stay out of drama when it comes to my child, I have to speak up. Recently, at Cathy Kelly mentioned my son in an interview. Why she would choose to talk about someone else's child's medical history is beyond me. What she said isn't true. I do my best to keep my family private as a protective mother. It really angers me when someone takes it upon themselves to talk about my children on a public platform without my, Kevin's, their consent. The fact I need to come out and clear this up is so ridiculous." What did you think about this drama, John?
Oh boy. All right, I got kids, man. I know what she's talking about. I got kids with a medical history. I know what she's talking about. However, I'm pretty damn certain we knew this early. Like, I was like, didn't we know this? Like, I don't know when, and I didn't look up to see exactly what interviews they happened in, but I was like, has Kevin Owens said this? Like, hasn't he said this on like public interviews before? I was like, maybe I'm wrong, but other people have also pointed out the same. Like, no, I'm pretty sure Kevin Owens mentioned this publicly. So, with the context that it was already a public thing, I don't know if Cathy thought it was also public. Then, like, I mentioning it because I watched the clip too. It wasn't like she was like, and this is exactly what Owen has or whatever. She was just like,
yeah.
You know, Kevin and I, we talked about it. He knows stuff about it because of his son. And I was like, you know what? I get, like, obviously I understand where Karina's coming from, because, you know, my wife would have done the same. I might have done the same if I didn't know what was going on. But also, it wasn't, she made it seem like Cathy brought it out, like pulled it out the closet and shit, like, but it wasn't. So, in the end, what it sounds like to me is she don't want that lady talking to her husband.
I wasn't gonna be the one to say it, but you're not wrong.
It comes off like that, like, and she's gonna mention my son, you know, like,
like, I already didn't like this bitch. Then she mentioned my son.
Yeah, that's how it read to me. That's like that. She spent 5 minutes on this interview talking about my fucking husband. And she want to talk about my son. You're like, ugh. I can see it.
Uncomfortable.
It might seem like, I don't know, people would take it out of context, like, oh, why would she think that? Hey, it's a natural fucking reaction from a wife at home too. Your fucking husband's out on the road. I mean, he's not now, he's home with the neck injury, but he had previously been out on the road with this lady, and they got to take him at his word that all they are is friends. But now you find out he's all talking about this intimate information about your family with this lady over here, and she's kind of pretty, you know, and I'm kind of pretty, and everybody talks about how my husband was fat, but he pulled a bad bitch. So like, maybe he's still out there pulling bad bitches. You know, like, I don't know. And she's talking about my fucking son. You know, and so at the end of the day, I dropped my ashtray. She took it down. Too. So I'm sure Kevin was like, "What the fuck?"
Like, honey, what the fuck?
Damn it, we talked about this.
You have nothing to worry about, hon. You have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, fun. That was funny.
Yeah, it was funny. It was just a funny story that came.
Good on Cathy though. You know, she found out she had autism late, and she's like happy to talk about it and champion the cause or whatever. That's really cool. So that's good for her. Just probably don't talk about Kevin Owens on interview.
Yeah, don't talk about other people's kids when you do it. Bring it up.
Just leave it alone.
Josh, what did you think about this whole story?
I saw both sides of it. You know, me personally, before I say anything, Cathy Kelley was the worst experience I had anybody meeting in wrestling. So just want to get that out there.
Oh shit! What the fuck? I didn't think you wrote that. Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, it's my experience. She wasn't very nice. And I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that.
That's all I gotta say about that.
He's like, and I hate your outfit. What the fuck did I do to you?
No. It has to do with you know.
Okay, you don't gotta tell you. We're on camera.
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, yeah. It's just, yeah. Believe me, it has nothing to do with me. Like, it was the fact that I wasn't the only one that day who was kind of like, damn, she's a bitch. So I feel pretty good about that. But
secure.
Yeah, but
I feel vindicated.
Yeah, so but as far as the situation, I don't think she did like did she do it like in a malicious matter? No, I don't think she did. I don't think she did it in a way that it was to like piss off people or to like get somebody upset. At the same time, you know, probably shouldn't be. I don't think it's in your place to bring up somebody's kid in that situation. Like, if it's your situation, that's fine. I don't think it's your place to even bring up, no matter what. Like, even if KO did mention it, that's KO. That's his son. So KO could talk about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if I did that to somebody else's kid, right? If I know something about somebody else's kid or medicals, it's not in my place to talk about that, no matter what. So I could see where KO's wife, she felt the way that she did, but I also do believe she just doesn't like the bitch, and I could understand that too, because I've dealt with that. And I'm like, yeah, a lot of people don't like her. Believe me, I know firsthand. So, I mean, I see both sides of it. I don't think it was anything malicious, but it was a mom being a mom.
Yeah. Which I can respect that. I can always respect that. But oh man, it was just funny. It was just funny, honestly. I'll be honest. I was like,
where the fuck did it come from? I was like, yo, like where's this shit? Like, this shit went left.
This went left real quick.
It was funny because everyone was being so positive about Cathy Kelley for like the evening, and then all of a sudden he's just like,
you know what? I'm gonna run with this shit for her.
We got a super chat donation from Vala. Thank you so much, Vala, for the support. Talking about the CM Punk news, he says this whole controversy reeks of terminally online and unemployed behavior. Maybe
it's fun. It's fun to talk about rich people. Sorry.
People in the chat said we need the tea, and Michael Allen Lewis said, how much in a super chats do we need for the tea, Josh?
My scale $100. $100, and I'll shoot.
She better have. She have tripped you and made you fall on your face personally.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. I mean, she would have done that. She would have done that or would chip the back. That's a different story. But
he would have. It's Josh. He would have cut her ankles off.
We would have wrote about it already. It would have been a headline somewhere.
Yeah, would have been in the headlines already. Like, Tru Heel Josh gets into it with Cathy Kelly. Would have been headline.
Oh yeah, I'll be fucking public enemy #1 after that because it don't even matter. Like if she was in the wrong, everybody would just come at me.
You beat up the beautiful autistic woman. You're going to hell.
I was like, so what? She deserved it. I don't give a fuck.
Some more WWE news. Unfortunately, it has to do with the whole UFC of it all because WrestleVotes Radio on Fightful Select had an update on the planned WWE presence at the upcoming UFC 250 Freedom Show at the White House for this weekend. WWE superstars are set to appear at the UFC Freedom 250 Fan Fest. According to WrestleVotes, aside from WWE superstars scheduled to appear at the fest, you had several other WWE names who reportedly expressed interest in attending the event at the White House. It's also noted that multiple talents have reached out to WWE about going to the show, even if not in an official capacity. Additionally, WrestleVotes Radio reports that several WWE backstage personnel are also expected to be in attendance throughout the weekend for UFC Freedom 250, which takes place on Sunday in Washington, D.C. Either of you watching this damn show?
Absolutely not.
I think on principle, it's a shitty thing. I don't watch UFC normally, but it's not. I don't have anything against it. I'm not like Marge Simpson or whatever, but I just don't usually watch it. So I mean, I don't want to stand on a pedestal on a soapbox about it. It's bad enough as it is, but also it looks kind of cool. I was like, fuck, that's so weird. Like they're doing a press conference on like the Lincoln Memorial. And I was like, this is what, like, this shouldn't be allowed. Like, America is a complete, corporate sellout joke, but also that's so fucking fascinating. Like a car crash a little bit, but like fascinating. Like, wow, like I remember watching Capital Punishment or whatever, the WWE pay-per-view, and they like built the White House on the set, and it's like, these motherfuckers are doing this show on the White House.
They're doing it legit. They're doing it legit this time. Capital Punishment.
It's ridiculous. Obviously it's a bad thing. The people that are going there are like, it's all going to be a bunch of either rich, influential, cocksucking, losers or whatever, or military.
It's an invite-only show.
They fit the measurements. They said you have to be measured. They're going to measure your waist to height. So this is like the North Korea WCW show.
Oh my god, it definitely is because it's an invite only.
It's a real scum thing, and obviously WWE superstars that think they're influential too. Some of them, like, I want to be there. I want to take a selfie. I want to take an Instagram picture. But like anybody that would be proud to be there, what kind of person they are. So let's hope that they do take those selfies at that post. Like. Let's see who takes those selfies and posts.
Who's brave enough? Who's brave enough to post it?
But stupid in thinking that they would be accepted afterwards. Like, we're not gonna tear you to shreds for the rest of life. Like, every time you tweet, we're gonna just post that fucking picture in the quote tweet. Like, isn't this you?
There's gonna be some dummies though.
No, he made actually. That's actually a great point, because I think that's why I felt the way that I felt about the UFC for years now, where you see like these athletes, you see these fighters, they take pictures with Trump and all that stuff, but then to me is like, well, what does it for me is when you're telling your audience, oh, we're not. We're not about politics. We're not about this. And it's like, you guys have been nothing but like, you've been like this since 2020. Like, what do you mean? Like, don't try to sit here and lie to my face about it. But it also, the UFC for a long time, they represented you know, like the opposite, right? They represented like the rebels. They represented, you know, people, you know, they're the ones that are coming back up to fight like the big system. And now you're doing the show at the White House. That shit's just stripped down. Like what the UFC represented, it's not it anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's not what it once was. And I understand that you're getting TV deals that you have to do to help your business. But when you go to this aspect of, oh, we're gonna do a show at the White House, we're gonna support Donald Trump. Every time Donald Trump attends a show, they're doing fucking video packages of Donald Trump. How, as a viewer, as myself, how can I enjoy that? I can enjoy it. Like I try to, and I try to look past it, and I can't. That's just how I feel about it. So now they're doing this White House show. Is like they're never gonna beat the agenda. They're never gonna beat whatever agendas that we're going against WWE, TKO. They're never gonna beat it after this weekend.
No.
They couldn't beat it before. That's the thing.
Before. They couldn't beat it before. They couldn't beat it before, but now it's like it's solidified. It's like no, like we all know, like you're in bed with them. It's like it is what it is. And then anybody from WWE, you know, if they want to play dumb, they could play dumb. But it's like the moment that you show yourself your face in that, guess what? People are gonna look at you funny, and you're gonna have to deal with that.
I think about what Mick Foley said when he was like, when he contacted WWE about leaving to AEW and over the Trump connection, and they tried to tell him like, no, you know, Triple H he was only there to sign that health bill or whatever, and he's like, he's there, like he's standing over Trump's shoulder as he signs a new bill, like he's there. That's happening. He's in the White House. Yeah. You can only convince people that want to be convinced that this is like, if you already want to believe, you just want something to be able to use when people say WWE is a Trump company, you'd be like, well, no, look, they said this. You're a corporate bootlicker, and I hope you enjoy your meal.
Hey, they're enjoying it, and they're gonna enjoy this show, I'm sure. But someone who might be back in the WWE circle very soon is Diamond Dallas Page. He was in recent reports. WrestleVotes Radio on Fightful Select reports that there are plans to bring back Diamond Dallas Page on WWE television in the future. While there's no indication on how WWE intends to use DDP on WWE TV, one source has indicated that his name has popped up in creative discussions as recently as last month. Additionally, the source said that if the plan to use DDP move forward, it's expected to be a one-off appearance rather than an ongoing role. Diamond Dallas Page, of course, has a close relationship with multiple WWE superstars, including reigning undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes. WWE has also addressed the injury to Rhea Ripley. She is currently sidelined with a knee injury, as announced on Friday Night SmackDown. Commentary revealed on Friday that Ripley is dealing with a knee injury. It was noted that Ripley suffered the injury at WWE Clash in Italy, where she faced Jade Cargill. There's no word as of yet on when Ripley may return to the ring. Barrett and Tessitore noted that they would have more after WWE finds how she is responding to treatment. Specific details on the nature of the knee injury are not yet known. Ripley worked a couple of live events on the WWE European Tour. She has been reigning as WWE Women's Champion for the last 55 days since beating Jade Cargill at WrestleMania 42. On behalf of all of us at THH, our best wishes and a speedy recovery to Rhea Ripley. And then one final note from WWE. WWE has traditionally held their Money in the Bank PLE during the build to SummerSlam, since the event first took place in 2010. Money in the Bank takes place in usually July, with May and June hosting Money in the Bank events as well. WWE changed that strategy this year for the first Money in the Bank to be scheduled for September after SummerSlam. Now WWE has moved the event a month later to October 10th. The event is still to take place in New Orleans, Louisiana. While WWE did not reveal the reason behind the date change in its press release, Fightful Select has come up with a report explaining why the PLE had been pushed back. According to Fightful, sources within WWE claim that the move has been made due to scheduling issues with broadcast partners. The sources claim that the move to push Money in the Bank 2026 by a month had been planned for well over a month, and several people in the promotion already knew about it. Fightful also spoke to New Orleans officials who claimed that the things connected to the city, in addition to the Labor Day weekend, have been driven up prices for fans attending the PLE that would have been on September 6th. But now they're on September 6th, they're doing a Sunday night's main event in Atlanta, Georgia. WWE events in New Orleans has become the wrestling equivalent to GTA 6. It just keeps getting pushed back and postponed.
Why do you think they needed an event on that date? Like, why do you think they put together a Sunday night's main event broadcast on that date for what moving Money in the Bank because New Orleans had something going on? Understandable, fine. What was it about that date that made them so like we need to have a broadcast on this day?
I think they're under the assumption that AEW is still doing their shows during Labor Day weekend. I think they didn't peep game that AEW has gone away from that. They did that last year. I think they did 2 weeks after All In the year before that. But I think WWE is still under the assumption, so they wanted to make sure that AEW didn't get any ideas of running Labor Day weekend.
And it's a Saturday night's main event or Sunday night's main event.
Sunday night's main event.
You would have to put. I mean, it doesn't matter what they put together; they'd be outshined by an AEW pay-per-view either way. Yeah. I'm not sure why they purposely do that. Like, it doesn't make you. It has never worked out. Like, not once, not yet. No. And I'm not sure why they keep on doing that to themselves. But I guess it's to show that they can suck and be okay. Like, is that your goal? Is that what you're?
Oh my God!
Look at this. It doesn't matter.
We'll still keep ticking. We'll still keep ticking. They can't do anything to us.
Well, I hope you guys have fun with the Sunday night's main event. If it airs against an AEW pay-per-view, I will not be watching that live.
I'm sure not a lot of people in our chat would be watching that either, to be fair. But yeah, that's the reporting. But it's time for Josh's favorite time of the show, Josh. C-level WWE shows. It is time to talk about NXT first up. NXT this week, they did about 548,000 viewers. The show featured one of the best tag team matches WWE has had in a very long time, as Fraxium picked up a win and making their return to NXT, reminding everyone why they're one of the best tag teams in wrestling when given the opportunity, as they defeated Romeo Moreno and Noam Dar in a stellar opener to the show. You had a pair of number one contenders matches on the show, as Naraku picked up a win over Mason Rook to advance to challenge Tony D'Angelo for the NXT Championship at Great American Bash. Elsewhere, you had Kendall Gray scored a victory over Kalani Jordan in a terrific bout to advance to face Lola Vice for the NXT Women's Championship at Great American Bash. Shiloh Hill and Tristan Angels in the Mr. NXT pageant. They had Angels win in the fashion portion. You had Shiloh won the talent portion and then public speaking as well as the fan vote to become Mr. NXT. But Tristan got the last laugh by attacking Hill with a steel chair and stealing his sash. Dion Lennox pulled off a win over Jasper Troy. Post-match, Saquon Sugars initiated another attack on Dark State. And finally, Zarya beat Tatum Paxley in a very good main event to win the NXT Women's North American Championship. After the show, Tatum said goodbye to the NXT faithful, signaling a main roster call-up for the former champion. You had Evolve this week on Tubi. Wednesday night, you had Carmen Petrovic scored a victory over PJ Vasa in the opener. Cutler James made his Evolve debut as he answered It's Gall's open challenge, getting the win in a lengthy matchup. Tristan Angels was also on this show as he got a win over Chad's Starboy, or he was interrupted by Chad's Starboy Charlie, who slapped him across the face, initiating a rivalry. And the Mod Squad beat Team ID 1.0, Marcus Mathers, Sam Holloway, and Aaron Rurik in the main event. Post-match, you have Max Abram take the Evolve Men's Championship, and he earned a shot at Rurik for the Evolve Men's Championship at Secession 3. Then you had AAA Noches de los Grandes Week 2. The show featured Catalina, Bailey, and Lola Vice picking up a win against Los Tasagas, with Catalina pinning the AAA Reina de Reyes champion, Flammer. Lince Dorado beat Octagon Jr., Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wild, and Mini Vikingo in a fun 5-way opener to earn a shot at Rey Fenix AAA World Cruiserweight Championship. And then finally, you had TNA Impact this week. In the opener, you had Mike Santana scored a win over Eric Young to retain the TNA World Championship, thanks to the returning Ricky Sosa, setting up a match between Sosa and Young for Slammiversary. Speaking of Slammiversary, Nick Nemeth came out and looked like he was going to cash in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet trophy, but instead said he's going to cash it in at Slammiversary one-on-one with Santana. Later in the show, you had Casey Navarro, who asked both men to be in his corner as he faced Mustafa Ali with Order 4 in his corner for the International Championship. Neither guy showed up for him during the matchup, which led to Ali beating Casey. But then after the match, Order 4 jumped Casey, leading to Santana and Nick Nemeth fighting them off. But just when the smoke was clear, you had Nick Nemeth turn on Santana, sending a message before the pay-per-view. Speaking of messages, you had Righteous had their first message since beating the Hardys in the Wicked Garden match last week. This brought out Santina Morella, who announced that it would be the Righteous versus the Hardys versus the System for the TNA World Tag Team Championships in a ladder match at Slammiversary coming up on June 28th. The lights cut out. We heard the broken Matt Hardy laugh, and a ladder showed up in the ring, signaling that the Hardys were not done with the Righteous. Then you had Mr. Elegance beat Elijah in singles competition thanks to distraction from AJ Francis's lawyer, who came out for a cease and desist to Elijah. But after the matchup, Elijah fought back against Francis. But then you also had Lei Ying Lee came out for revenge on Mr. Elegance, leading to Zaya Brookside attacking her. But Lei Ying Lee got the last laugh, laying her out. Ali, Rosemary, and Mara Sade picked up a win over the Elegance brand. You then had, you also had Fabian Eichner and Leon Slater scored a win over the System. The System came out to attack both men after the matchup, leading to Moose making the save, and even in the odds for them, Moose challenged Eddie Edwards to a singles match for Slammiversary as the babyfaces stood tall. But the big news of the week when it comes to TNA Impact has to do with, is there going to be a TNA Impact any time or going forward? Because a lot of people are being released and let go from the company. Steve Maclin's time in TNA has come to an end, with a new report confirming that he requested his release from the company. Fightful reports that he was granted a release from the company, and TNA confirmed the release as well. Details around it were later revealed. Steve Maclin is the second person in a week who were granted their release after Mila Grace on June 4th. It was reported that the two other TNA talents' contracts are set to expire, in addition to Santana, who WWE has interest in signing. Fightful Select had some more details as well. They report that Maclin wanted to keep the word quiet of his departure, but TNA issued a press release announcing the news, which is something that the company rarely does. The press release also announced the exit of Grace. It said that neither Mila nor Maclin were consulted ahead of issuing the press release. Maclin has been outspoken in the past about his frustrations with the company's creative direction, and it was reportedly among a number of talent who didn't believe the creative issue had improved after Impact went to AMC. Fightful notes that the pay scale on something like this internally, as the majority of TNA contracts or talent are now on not on full-time salary deals. Many of the deals have been moved to short-term deals, and that continues to be the case since the shift to AMC. Fightful reports that Macklin is expected to have interest from companies outside of TNA. There's no word yet on Grace, but sources in AEW and WWE said they wouldn't be surprised if she lands in one of those companies. And TNA has some announcements regarding other contracts, according to a new report. Fightful noted that multiple talents have either requested their release and leaving, and multiple talents have also re-signed with the company. So we'll be hearing those announcements in the weeks to come. What do you think about Steve Macklin being released or granted his release from TNA, John?
He said, I told that cook I quit. He said that. Those are his words. I thought it was a coincidence that he hadn't been on TV since he told that motherfucker to sit back in his cuck chair, but he comes out at this Wrestle Revolver show last night and he just screams into the camera, I told that cuck I quit. And I was like, oh, he's gonna get rich off that cuck shit.
Yeah.
Carlos Silva's gonna be a cuck forever. That's insane. Huh? You can come and you can be the new Jim Herd, but worse, you're a cuck version of Jim Herd. You just, not even Jim Herd would let Vince McMahon get away with something like that.
That's sad. Now that's sad.
Yeah, they've got a lot of problems, and from what I see, it starts at the top. But the thing about TNA is that nice, better times.
My bad. I don't know what the hell happened there.
You were looking for better things to talk about. I don't blame you. There's the thing about TNA is that it's rotten. It's rotten from the top down. Like it's the leadership, it's the creative, it's management. It all sucks. And so even if they're removed, though, for some reason, TNA always ends up here. And it's like these letters are cursed. There's no other explanation. It doesn't matter who's in charge of TNA. They're always in a bad place. I guess Scott D'Amore, thought he had it, but never did. MLW has slowly crept its way into the number 3 spot. I don't know if people want to admit that or not. Not number 3, like number 6, whatever spot TNA was in. It belongs.
North America 3.
Yeah. I guess you could say that. But yeah, MLW is probably the North American number 3 now. And I mean, it's probably going to take people to the end of the year to really admit that, but I'm going to go ahead and say it now in June. It's pretty obvious to me. They're treating their talent better. People seem happier there. People can leave WWE, rebuild themselves there, and you can't do that in TNA anymore because you're just in their farm system again. Like, you look stupid when you do it. When you leave WWE and you show up in TNA, you look stupid. Like, oh my God, you let them rip you off. You're doing the same amount of work and they're paying you 1/4, and it's still all the same umbrella. So if you get out that system, go to MLW. If you can't get AEW, that's cool. I think TNA's fucked now. I think in the past, like when they've been in a bad place, I don't think there's been another choice. Like Ring of Honor was there, but Ring of Honor never had like the money that TNA did. Even in the end, only the top guys were getting decent money. But now MLW seems poised to easily take that spot. They've got partnerships with fucking CMLL and Stardom and shit. New Japan probably. Do they have New Japan? I don't think they have New Japan anymore. They used to.
I think they were close with New Japan for a while. So yeah,
I'm sure they'll get back on good terms with AEW eventually. It's just they're too in the same circles to not eventually come back together in some form. But yeah, TNA's fucked. TNA's fucked from all sides. And I think they've survived a long time, but in the face of like MLW's existence, I don't know. I don't know how much longer they have.
It's not looking good for good old TNA. Josh, what did you think about the Macklin release and what it means for TNA? Honestly, I said this before. The Carlos Silva, like, look at his history. He always sets his companies up to be sold. So I don't, you think that, WWE would have first right to it, but I think WWE would only want the tape library. If they want to continue on with TNA, it seems like Carlos Silver is going to sell at some point.
I mean, yeah, it's just that, I don't know. TNA is always in a weird fucking spot. Like, this is probably one of the weirdest spots they've been in their history, just because of, last year, the last 2 years before this one, people fell for their bullshit. Let's just call it like it is. People were falling for their bullshit. Like, oh, this is the hottest brand around. Wow, like this partnership with WWE is working. Like, look, everybody, look, people are attending their shows. Look at this. Look at this. They're gonna be AEW. And realistically, even when you watch it under a microscope, not only their stuff wasn't like that good, but then it's like, what are they doing differently? They weren't doing nothing differently. Everything that they were doing, they were relying on WWE. Slammiversary, people want to brag about the 7,000 people that showed up, but look how they did that. They did that because, one, you had the champion from who was an NXT talent, main eventing. Then you had to sell the fact that, oh my God, AJ Styles is coming back, everybody. Please buy our tickets. Yeah. That moved the most tickets by him just making an appearance. Like, you had to use somebody from WWE to sell tickets. Like, I'm like, so what they were doing, I'm like, under a microscope, it wasn't like compelling. It wasn't good. It wasn't good TV. And, so people were falling for that. And people were like, oh, TNA changed a lot. Look, everybody is like, no, they didn't change a lot. Their stuff got worse, because when Scott D'Amore was running Impact, was Impact perfect? No. But Impact was actually like watchable. You could sit there and watch Impact because we'll get like a few good matches. We're not even getting that. Like, if it's not Leon Slater, we're like, all right, let's see what else we're gonna get on this card. It's not good stuff. And, for what's going on right now, I mean, it just feels like it's obvious. It feels like what happened was TNA got their TV deal, so they're getting some type of money. But once WWE probably were like, oh yeah, you got your TV deal, you got what you wanted. You didn't, like, hey, you guys were supposed to take out AEW. What happened? Why haven't you guys done that? They kind of just left them in the dark. And that's what you're seeing right now. So there's people who are leaving. Steve Macklin, he's a smart guy for leaving, because he sees the bullshit too. He's been seeing the bullshit.
He sees the writing on the wall, it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the fact that you gave this man a feast and fire briefcase for this man to be fired just to bring him back in the storyline, just for him to quit, this is so TNA. Like, this is 100%.
It's so TNA, yes. This
is 100% TNA. And you had this man call your boss a cuck on live TV, and then he quit. He called you a cuck, and then he quit. Like,
and then told everybody,
like, hey man, Steve Macklin is one of my favorite wrestlers now for just doing that. Like, I like him. But also, see, if you really think about it, like, he benefited from TNA, like Impact. Steve Macklin was one of those guys who benefited with that company. And the fact that you treated him the way that you did is like, because even this release, right? They granted his release. You could say that's good and all, but it's like, damn, you didn't even try to keep him. He threatened you with a release, and you're just like, all right, cool, you can leave. So it just tells you the state of TNA. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen going forward. I really don't know. I don't know how they're gonna revamp like their structure of like signing talent. They're not in a good spot at all after this.
No. This is it's nothing but bad signs right now when it comes to TNA. So we're gonna keep y'all posted on everything going on within the world of TNA, but don't know how long that's gonna last. They are teasing that Amazing Red is going to be a part of Slammiversary. They had a vignette and video airing teasing his return, so that's something to look forward to. And then a final news note from WWE. Zilla Fatu was seen at the WWE PC this week. They talked about the earlier discussions that he's been talked about as a potential signing for the company. do you think how long we gotta wait till Zilla is a part of this bloodline drama?
Oh man, I think that's why they're looking at him now. So insert him into the what's going on already. And I don't think he's like ready, but
I don't think he's ready either. I
You
think
know,
he needs to be on the PC.
He's not. Yeah,
he
he's
needs
not
to go to
close to being
PC.
ready.
Yeah.
He's not. Yeah, I think his wrestling skills is decent, but to me, it's more of his maturity. He's just not ready, like in every fashion, in my opinion. So I don't know.
Put him with the other kids in the PC and see what happens. But if they're thinking about putting him on TV now, that'd be stupid.
I mean, he'll find a way to complain. Find a way to complain about that anyway. Everywhere he goes, he complains. He burned his bridge with GCW. He complained when he was being like, he was being trained by Booker T. Like nowhere he's gone has worked out. I just don't see how it works out for WWE.
And he's only been wrestling for 3 years. Like it's crazy how many places he comes off like I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Like I want to like the kid, but he does come off a little untitled with all these stories that come out about him.
He kind of I hate to say it reminds me of Teddy Hart in a way.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Teddy Hart was actually good in the ring. That's what made it frustrating with Teddy Hart. He's actually really fucking good. Some of the matches I've seen on the indies, like live, some of his matches were the best matches I watch. And just the way that he turned out is like, fuck. So much wasted fucking talent.
And a lot of people are putting a lot of effort into Zilla Fatu. So I don't know. I hope it works out for sure. I mean, he's got an easy path. If it doesn't work out, it's his fault. You're fucking Samoan and you're in the Anoa'i family. You should you could be WWE champion in like 3 years if you want. So like if he fucks it up, it's on him for being stupid. So I hope it works out.
Hopefully one could hope, because he is setting up to be a tragic story, a cautionary tale of sorts. But we're gonna go into some AEW. No TikTok time this week, but we got to give Josh the opportunity to get on out of here. I know you gotta run. You got stuff later on to do, but I wanted to give you the floor first, sir. Let the people know where they can follow you on social media and when they shall see you again.
You can follow me, JamPunk321 on X and Instagram. And I'll be back next weekend for the next podcast episode.
There we have it. Go and follow Josh, and I hope you have a good time today, Josh.
Yeah, it's my dad's show. So it's his gallery show, so I'm attending it.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
So you get the double whammy. Your dad's art gallery show, and then the Knicks winning tonight. That's
that's the plan. That's the plan. I hope, man.
All right, brother. We shall see you next week. See you then, bro.
Take care, guys.
Later. Let me see. We got a couple of comments to feature here. We got Volup, who agrees with John, saying MLW is what I wanted TNA to be right now. I mean, I've been enjoying MLW since Fusion came back. Have you been watching?
No, I read results like a long time ago, and I was like, oh, okay, we're airing shows 5 months late. That's something.
That's interesting.
But I see the success, and they've crossed into my world because they had a whole fucking MLW CMLL show. And I was like, oh, look at you guys. Everybody seems happy here.
I still really like that freaking Kushida versus Templario matchup in the main event. Come on, man.
That's another thing. They've got access to great talent. Like they just had Saya Kamatani there. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like
I'm definitely watching those shows.
The one thing that I not that I don't like or whatever, it's that their ring is kind of smaller than other rings, and I'm like, sometimes I see the guys from CMLL there, and I'm like, oh, I want to watch this, and the matches are not what they could be because they're working in the smaller rings. So I was like, oh, okay, that's the thing. I saw they got called out by. Well, not by name, but they got subtweet called out by Brett Lauderdale from GCW, who's talking about the he's like, when he runs the is it the Melrose Ballroom? That it's the Melrose, it's the Melrose. He's like,
Melrose Ballroom.
when he runs the Melrose Ballroom, they told him at 750 tickets sold, he might be having to turn people away, and that's without a TV setup. So he doesn't know how these TV wrestling companies can run this building and claim 900 sold out with a TV setup. You know,
Right, getting salty. Right, getting salty.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, I love it. I love any type of low end tribalism in the wrestling world.
It's fun. It's fun.
It is. All right, time for some AEW. We're going all the way back first up to AEW Collision. Last Saturday, the show featured Divine Dominion beating TJ in a solid opener to retain the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. You had Shane Taylor, who picked up a quick win against Alan Angels, who made his return to AEW. Post-match, Taylor called out Jon Moxley and the Death Riders and said that STP is now the most dangerous and violent faction in AEW. This brought out the Death Riders as Mox, Pac, and Claudio Castagnoli scored a victory over Shane Taylor Promotions in a very good match. Tommaso Ciampa picked up a win over Beef. Post-match, he put Beef in the walls of Jericho and demanded Tony Schiavone say that he was better than Jericho, which he did. He also had Clark Connors overcame Juice Robinson in a singles matchup after interference from David Finlay with the Shillelagh. The conglomeration retained the AEW World Trios Championships over LFI in a decent matchup. You also had Shane Taylor, who jumped Wheeler Yuta later on in the show to set up Taylor versus Moxley after Moxley accepted his challenge for Dynamite. And then finally, you had Hazuki pulled off an upset victory over CMLL World Women's Champion Persephone in a great main event to advance to the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Semifinals against Mercedes Moné on June 17th on Dynamite. Your post-match, Hazuki and Persephone showed respect to one another until Moné attacked the CMLL star from behind until Hazuki ran her off. However, Mercedes then attacked Hazuki too, but the Stardom talent fought back with the Tope Suicida onto Mercedes. I was quite surprised Mercedes was on this show, but it added, this was the most woman-centric episode of AEW television in a very long time, and it nearly did 500K, which said something that I was right to complain about the lack of women's wrestling on AEW television.
Yeah, it was interesting how many people watched, how many people have been watching AEW lately on all fronts. Obviously, the NBA Finals kind of got them a little bit this week, but that was to be expected. But it was a great show. There was a hot angle at the end. Mercedes really, she really cemented it. It really felt important. So, hell yeah, keep doing things like that. It seems like Ring of Honor Global Wars is going to be very woman-centric. It's a step in the right direction. We can only hope that it transfers over to Dynamite, and that when it does, you motherfuckers don't change the channel.
Stick on the channel if you like this, please. You know? I was gonna ask you, were you expecting Hazuki to win this?
No,
because I was surprised.
What the fuck?
I thought the story was Mercedes beating the woman that beat her for titles because she beat Alex Windsor. She replaced Willow Nightingale. I thought she was just gonna beat Persephone in the next round. So Hazuki winning, I was like, I wasn't expecting this, but I'm kind of for it because Hazuki and Mercedes is one of the greatest women's matches I think I've ever seen.
I think that's funny because when you're Tony Khan and you're like, okay, I have this story I can do. That's very obvious. I can go right back to it. It's good for Persephone, but he has her in the thing already, and then you can do a clean loss to Mercedes, or you can do a cheap one with fucking Thekla and the girls, or it's like, or I can do Hazuki versus Mercedes again, and that's really cool. That was really good, and it's within the Forbidden Door spirit still. And Hazuki's like not signed at all, whereas Persephone is technically part of AEW. Also, it's just for the match aspect, you know. Like, fucking, it's fucking awesome. This is what the tournament's about. Yeah, hell yeah. So I'm excited, and yeah, Hazuki got to attack Mercedes as the show went off the air too. So everybody looks fucking great here. And I think that Mercedes attacking Persephone says that they're going to be doing something anyway in the future. So everybody wins. That was good stuff.
Yeah, I was surprised, but I really feel like, especially the last 2 weeks that she's been featured since making her AEW debut, the matchup with Maya World was really damn good. This matchup with Persephone Hazuki, especially with the crowd reaction she's been getting, it sounds like she's getting over with the AEW fans.
Well, she always wanted to wrestle on American TV, and I know it isn't WWE like she wanted, but it's American television, so she's going to make the most of her opportunity. The other thing about Collision that I wanted to mention was before the Dynamite thing, I had noticed like, oh shit, Shane Taylor Promotions is like they got called up. Like what?
Yeah.
I was worried that this would be kept on Collision on this episode, and then they lost to the Death Riders, and then they kidnapped Willie Yuta. I was like, oh shit, hell yeah, we're fucking doing something here. So
I haven't read. I refuse to kind of look at the spoilers because I have to do the Fightful post show tonight for Collision. I really hope Shane Taylor Promotions win that matchup because it's like, they need a win to kind of like cement them on as being a consistent AEW talent.
I would love to see that. That would be fucking huge. That would set them up immediately. I was just surprised at all. I was like, oh shit, I didn't think this would happen. Oh shit. We're clearing out Ring of Honor because if you take Shane Taylor Promotions out of Ring of Honor, that's like 7 of the fucking 10 segments.
It's so true. You got Athena in the Owen Hart Cup. You got Shane Taylor Promotions being featured. That's like freaking 70% of the roster.
All gone. And you know what? Lately, the Ring of Honor shows, not all of them, but they've been airing shows on like Tuesday, like special ones that are just like, they're just like dark. I was like, oh shit.
This one was really good this week. We're gonna talk about that one as well, because that was good stuff on Tuesday. And I really, really love the AR Fox TV title run. Like you could tell it really means a lot to him.
Yeah. They did like a little video vignette thing they put out there. I was like, oh shit. It's cool that they put their faith in him like that real fast. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, moving over to AEW Dynamite Summer Blockbuster this past week. They, like we said before, they were down in the viewership for 542,000 viewers compared to last week. They did 638. All things considering, both numbers are pretty good against these monster ratings that the NBA Finals has been getting with the Knicks and the Spurs. But the show featured Tommaso Ciampa kicking off the broadcast after intimidating Tony Schiavone. Jericho made his return to confront him and got under his skin by calling him Tommy and doing his subliminal act. This led to a pull-apart brawl between Jericho and Ciampa. Mark Briscoe beat Pac in a good matchup. Post-match, Briscoe called out MJF, which led to the AEW World Champion once again turning him down and turning down his challenge for the AEW World title. He even used his money for Lethal Twist to attack Briscoe, but the conglomeration made the save. Briscoe then revealed that it would be MJF and 5 partners versus Briscoe and 5 partners in a steel cage match at Forbidden Door. If Team Briscoe wins, Mark gets a title shot later. And later we saw MJF offer some money to the Don Callis family to pick their best 5. But Kevin Knight said that he would be on Team MJF if MJF gives him a title shot. While Andrade was once again denied his title shot, but he did get Callis's word that he will get his shot down the line. Speaking of Andrade, he picked up a win over Orange Cassidy in a very fun matchup on the show. Meanwhile, you had Kevin Knight, who called out MJF earlier in the show, but got Darby Allin making his return instead for the first time since Double or Nothing with the skateboard attack on the Jet, telling him that he hopes that New York was worth it before he got ran off by the Don Callis family. Jon Moxley picked up a win over Shane Taylor in a solid opener to retain the AEW Continental Championship. Post-match, Shane Taylor Promotions jumped the Death Riders to set up a Cincinnati street fight on tonight's Collision Summer Blockbuster. one of my favorite moments of the show, and it was like a 30-second vignette. Zack Sabre Jr. sent a pre-tape promo vignette to challenge Kenny Omega for Forbidden Door, which Omega accepted to make the match official. Omega makes his in-ring return to AEW on tonight's Collision Summer Blockbuster against CMDK's Bad Dude Tito. Maya World was the replacement for Sari, pulled off an upset win over Sky Blue. Emotional performance by Maya after losing her younger brother in a good matchup to advance to the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Semifinals against her mentor Athena. Meanwhile, you had Swerve Strickland defeated Brody King in an excellent main event, bloody and visceral, to advance to the Owen Hart Foundation men's final, where Swerve will face his longtime rival and friend and former tag team partner, Will Ospreay, at Forbidden Door. So the finals that we all thought would happen is going to happen 2 years from the day of their first clash at AEW Forbidden Door 2024. Ospreay and Swerve run it back. I've been really staying on this because I literally said this last year heading into All In Texas. I still wish, a year later, I still wish the Young Bucks won that matchup at All In Texas, because I feel like this would mean a whole lot more if we went through a whole year of Swerve and Ospreay being unable to challenge for the AEW World Championship. And maybe they didn't know at that time, but the guys missed like months of action because both of them got injured.
Yeah.
Swerve only got one title shot in a 4-way. Did we really need him in that 4-way? Like it would have meant more for them to meet in the finals after being denied a title shot for a whole year. That's just my opinion. What do you think?
I think it felt like there were plans to do this Hangman Swerve Ospreay like matches over the fall, and it just fell apart entirely because they lost both men. So they end up trying to maneuver the Hangman thing. And I think they did the best that they could. I mean, as far as like storytelling, the ring itself is like, it's not going to rank very high, but as far as like what they did over the fall with Swerve, in hindsight, they should have lost. There's just no way to know they were going to get fucking injured.
Yeah.
The Jericho segment to open Dynamite, I was like, fuck, I hate this.
That was such a dumb choice. Like I said this on AE Ramble. They should have opened with the Kevin Knight segment. Darby returning. That would have been a hotter. If you're gonna open with a promo, it should have been that. I technically always think AEW is better off starting with a matchup, but if you're gonna open with a promo, the better of the two was the Kevin Knight segment.
There's a reason why you're open with a heel faction standing there talking their shit. No, but it was more so just the Tommy Mommy, you know, it was like, I was like, oh God, this shit stinks. And I'm not one of those people that dumps on Jericho, but I was like, this fucking sucks. When they turned it up in the end, where he's like, are you fucking around? And Jericho's like, no, I'm not, I'm more serious. I was like, okay, I kind of got behind that. This is fine.
But I would have preferred Jericho being upset from the jump, because not only did Ciampa attack you, he's been basically ripping off of your gimmick for weeks, and he made no acknowledgement to that in the promo.
Yeah, he was just like, you didn't say shit. You haven't said why you hated me. It's like it was a mess. I mean, I'm sure the match is gonna be fine, you know. But this shit sucked, and I don't know. All right, this is fucked up. I don't even know. I shouldn't even critique it. Like, there was just another segment on Dynamite that I was like, this is moving in slow motion. And I was like, yeah, and the crowd isn't reacting. I was like, there's reasons. So I'm not gonna like grade it.
What segment? What segment?
It was the Owen Hart Cup match, the women's match. The Sky Blue. I thought
the crowd started responding to it later on in the matchup.
Yeah, it was later on in the matchup, in like the final 3 minutes, and I was like, damn. And then they botched the finish a little bit, and I was like, fuck. Like, we started off slow, we finally built it up, and he botched the finish. papers in the air. But it was because for everything that was going on, you know what? It's like it doesn't fucking matter. Like it really doesn't matter in the end. Everything else was much bigger than that. The fact that Maya World was even there to perform in the first place is like
exactly
big enough as it is. But it's like, but objectively, I'm looking at it and I was like, these fucking people, wake up.
No, that crowd sucked. That crowd sucked. It's like I am all for AEW running intimate arenas, but I don't think this venue looked that great. And then when you have the fans, like the styling didn't really work for me. And then if you have like 1,200, 1,300 in the building, they need to be as loud as possible. I shouldn't be looking back on this week and saying the 500 people in the warehouse in Florida for the PC on NXT this week were louder than 1,300 in Cincinnati.
Fucking Ohio. Fucking Ohio.
Shit. But yeah, what was the positives from this week's summer blockbuster?
I mean, as always, the good wrestlers do good wrestling, and I'm satisfied. So, like, Swerve and Brody King have their match. Mark Briscoe and MJF announcing their cage match. I was like, when I wrote it down, I thought lights out, and I wrote lights out, but he didn't say lights out.
Yeah,
and I was like,
no, he didn't say.
How are you gonna fit 12 people in a regular cage? That's just.
I think they're gonna do the same cage that they did last year. I just don't think they wanted to call it lights out because I don't know if this is actually the main event of.
He said the words. He said
because they're doing a whole triple main event thing.
Oh, that's such bullshit. I hate that.
Yeah.
That's not a main event. There's one main event. It's the last match in the show. But if the world champion, I guess Ospreay versus Swerve would be the main event.
Yeah, that's what I think should be the last matchup on the show. Honestly,
they Ospreay and Hangman main evented when they had Double or Nothing. They did, right?
Yeah, they did.
So then that makes most sense to main event, like for real. But this Forbidden Door doesn't have much outside involvement. What the fuck is going on? And I know we still got 2 weeks until more wrestlers from other places are available, but like the card is filling out. Like, wait,
you already got 4 matches on the docket. Like, we're only going to probably get like 4 or 5 more for the main card. I think they're going to announce something with more New Japan talent involved after Dominion, because that's usually their MO around this time.
CMLL guys too. I mean, I know we know now we know what Stardom's involvement is going to be, at least. And it's
with Tekla. But who? We don't know who's going to be Tekla's challenger.
I had someone in the building, so I know, unfortunately.
Here we go.
But it's good. It's good stuff. So, like, we know Stardom's taken care of. CMLL and New Japan, we're waiting because they're on the fucking billing. They're like big this time. Like, you've advertised them to be there. So I'm waiting to see who from CMLL, who from New Japan. And I guess after Dominion, people like kind of we'll see where everyone is at too. Like, we don't know where is everyone gonna be at story wise, who's gonna be champion, and all that stuff. Yeah. So we'll know for certain. I thought
we're nearly 3 hours into the show. You could spoil it. Go ahead. Who's Tekla facing?
Oh, she's gonna be facing Starlight Kid.
Ooh,
fucking wild.
Let's go.
I was like, holy shit, okay. I thought it was gonna be Sierra, but she apparently got a big ass showcase on the Global Wars show with Athena, and they said that match is fucking awesome. So I think showcase someone else, then hell yeah. So this is gonna be awesome. This is gonna be fucking big.
Yeah. Michael Alleluia saying hour 1 and hour 2 of Dynamite this week was like night 1 and night 2 of Mania. I think that's a little extreme, but fair enough. He said this show was torture the first hour. Jericho, Moxley, Briscoe. Oh no. Why are people hating on Mark Briscoe now? I don't get that. I will never I can understand Jericho. I can even understand Moxley to an extent because he's been a top guy this long in AEW. But Briscoe doesn't even make sense to be in that lineup with those guys.
He's good at everything. His promos are good. His wrestling is good. I don't understand what else you want.
Yeah.
It's because he's ugly.
I think the reason I would agree with like the hour one of Dynamite not being that strong is because the crowd fucking sucked in that first hour. It's like they responded to Tommy's mommy more than the good Briscoe versus Pac match.
You know what they want? You know what kind of show they wanted to see?
Exactly. We got Jordan from Canada says he loved the segment. I hope he's not talking about the Jericho one, but he might be. We got Dion who says he thinks Andrade gets his shot at Grand Slam Mexico. Yes, because I think it's not gonna be against MJF.
Yeah. And honestly, that match that would fill so many things. Like, they didn't get Kenny Omega last year, and everybody was furious. He was on a fucking poster. Yeah, like, god damn it. And so this year he's not on the poster. You kind of invert that whole thing. Like, he's gonna be on the show. And plus, Andrade versus Kenny is just top tier match in Arena Mexico. Like, get the fuck out of here. What?
Absolutely.
I would be there for that. No.
I got hyped as hell for Omega versus ZSJ being announced, because it's such so rare when you get those Kenny versus New Japan star that hasn't been done in New Japan before. But this has been done in New Japan, but it was back in 2018, and it was in a G1 where he had 5-star instant classics with Tomohiro Ishii and Kota Ibushi, Tetsuya Naito, Hiroki Goto, that the ZSJ matchup got so lost in the sauce that now it has the chance to kind of stand out in a way that it didn't back 8 years ago.
25 minutes, baby, and it's gonna be fucking wild. Zack Sabre Jr. style with Kenny Omega style is such an interesting mix. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. We got Dion who says, SP3, do you still think they do Darby and Jet at All In, or do they have the match at Redemption? I think they may run back Pinball and the Jet at All In. The only reason that I'm not sure of now is because Darby is back so early. It's like, how do you kind of prolong it? They're going to prolong it it's not going to happen at Forbidden Door. I think both guys are going to be in the 12-man cage match. But then how do you prolong it for Redemption? I can see Speedball jumping in at Redemption since it's in Montreal, which is his hometown basically. So I could see him getting another shot at the Jet there, and then doing the Jet versus Darby at All In. But then if you take out someone like that big like Darby out of the mix, who is someone like Swerve gonna face? The Swerve face of returning Hangman? But if he faces a returning Hangman, then who MJF's going to face, unless they do MJF and Andrade or MJF and Foley. Like, it's going to be so hard to kind of shuffle around what's going to be the actual lineup with all these guys who are either top guys or trying to kind of break through into the main event mix.
If they were going to run Speedball versus the Jet at All In, they shouldn't have done it on fucking Dynamite the way they did.
Yeah.
That's kind of
that's why I can see them running back at Redemption more than All In.
Or on more Dynamites. It is a TV title. You know, I've better arenas in Ohio. I don't think it was the arenas. It was the people. They were sleepy.
Sleepy motherfuckers. We got better Call Me Mr. Bonda, who says Starlight Kid better win because she's leagues above Tekla when the bell rings. Shrug emoji. She ain't leagues above Tekla when it comes to being a character and on the mic. That's why Tekla's the champion. Sometimes you need that. You need that extra thing in a company that's, with the best wrestler and about being a great wrestler. Sometimes the people that have a personality like Tekla stand out more because of that.
I like Starlight Kid's the character stuff she was doing in Stardom, especially when she got like stolen by Oedo Tai or whatever, or she was like evil. She's she got stolen, but then she kind of slowly fell into it and like actually became evil with the rest of them. And they did this whole thing with Mayu and me, and it was all tears and everything. It was real good. But yeah, it'll be a good match.
Yeah. Chilling with Chase. He says, SP3, I want you to experience Kenny versus Ospreay, but I think you getting MJF versus Ospreay 3, not 2, for the world belt. I'm telling you.
I don't see it. I never saw it.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I am like, now I'm not even just like predicting it anymore. fully like guarantee. I feel like it's honestly like a guarantee that it's gonna be Kenny.
It's the right thing to do. Honestly, I never saw Ospreay and MJF. It just didn't make sense that they were gonna run that match again. Like of all the matches to main event Wembley again, that's the one you're going with. I didn't see it. There was there was better possibilities there, and they clearly went with the better possibility. Come on. Omega versus Ospreay at Wembley before Omega's career winds down. Like, come on. That's the move. That's the move.
Yep. It's completing the passing of the torch storyline that they started 3 years ago. And now they have this friendship. It was the second promo that they had after Double or Nothing with Moxley getting involved. I was like, yes, Omega being the voice of reason and being like, what the fuck are you doing hanging out with the Death Riders? I was like, yeah, they have to pull the trigger. They have to pull the trigger on this. Like this writes itself. It's so perfect. And I feel like that's the only thing that's gonna get Omega to give us a vintage Kenny Omega performance in Wembley.
It's that, and like you said, it's that passing of the torch aspect. It's Kenny was the main guy in it for AEW. People were begging for him to be the main guy when he wasn't, when it first started. It's going to be Ospreay. And if he's going to become the face of AEW at that moment in Wembley Stadium, it can't be MJF. They're contemporaries. They're at the same level. He has to he has to become the face of AEW and take it from the face of AEW. It's perfect. I can't wait to see this.
I think that we're gonna get a Will Ospreay and MJF revisiting of that storyline once Ospreay gets the title, but I just don't see it happening at All In. I think though they have to give MJF a big matchup, or I could see MJF being like, "Oh, my knee really hurts. It really hurts. I'm out. I think I'm not in the main event. I don't think I need to be here for All In."
I hope you don't. I mean, I would imagine he's aware of the direction they're going. I would hope, because it seems obvious to everybody on the outside. People blindsided, like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know. It seems obvious to me. What is it?
What? We got Michael Allen Lewis who says there's only 24K. No, there's 25K move for All In. MJF is currently the champ, so it makes sense that he would be champ for All In, and tickets ain't moving. That should tell Max something. Yeah, it should. It should, that they need something. They need another boost for those ticket sales, and announcing Ospreay Omega a month out is the main event for All In. I think that's the thing that pushes them over the top. But let's see what happens there. But we got to get into AEW news, and we have an update on someone that probably has the most lengthiest freaking absence from AEW television ever, in Keith Lee, who has been off of AEW television for over 2 years now. A new backstage update from Fightful Select has shed light on Keith Lee's status with AEW. While a potential return to television has been discussed internally, no timetable has been set. Keith Lee has not appeared on AEW programming since late 2023, and fans have continued to question when or if he will return to the ring. According to Fightful Select, AEW sources recently confirmed that the former AEW World Tag Team Champion was part of internal discussions regarding a comeback several months ago. However, those discussions have yet to lead to an on-screen return. While AEW sources acknowledge that a comeback has been discussed, Fightful is not sure if that made it to him or not. Despite reports of some tentative plans, Fightful noted that they would have happened by now if they were as originally intended. There has also been no indication that he is currently undergoing the company's medical clearance process, which often takes place in the weeks leading up to a wrestler's return. According to the report, interest in Lee's situation extends beyond fans. Fightful stated that after teasing an update on X, several wrestlers contacted the outlet asking about Lee's status. Despite his lengthy absence, Keith Lee is currently under contract with AEW and is still listed on the roster's the roster page on the website. However, he has not been involved in regular creative plans for quite some time, and Lee's last AEW matchup took place in December of 2023 when he defeated Brian Cage on the Holiday Bash edition of Collision. So my big question to you, 0 to 100, what is the likelihood we see Keith Lee in an AEW ring in the year of our Lord 2026? John?
I don't know. And you know why? It's because the report mentioned specifically ideas for Keith Lee to return, but also no medical. So I'm thinking they were thinking about bringing Keith Lee in as a personality. So like not in ring, you know, like, and maybe like commentary, maybe some other form of coming back. Maybe that's what was in discussion, because I don't know what, like, do we know? Did we ever find out what kept him out? Right.
No,
So,
it was a mixture of things that we heard about. Like we heard something about his back, his lingering back injuries, something about like the health concerns that he had during like COVID maybe coming back up, but we never got any confirmation in regards to why it's been 2.5 years since we've seen Keith Lee in AEW.
I don't believe they gave up on him like that. I don't think he was in a place to be given up on when he disappeared from TV. I think they knew there was a lot of juice left with Keith Lee. Because there are times where they give up on people and you just don't see them anymore. But yeah, it was clear to me that that wasn't the case here. And if it's been this long, I don't know. I don't know if he's ever going to get back in the ring. But like, there's been cases of people tweeting him and saying, and he's like, he doesn't say that he's fine, but he kind of hints at the idea that,
yeah,
you know, I'm not done or whatever, you know, like I'll be okay. But I mean, shit, you know,
it's been a while. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So
it's weird.
It's quite interesting with Keith Lee in this whole situation. I'm interested to see if he ever makes it back, because I feel like he barely even scratched the surface of what he can do in AEW as well. That was the other thing.
And the thing about him and Swerve is that I don't think they scratched the surface of what they could have done together. Like not even as like a team, but like as opponents, you know, in matches. You know, we didn't even get that. And that's like a very obvious way to go with Keith Lee. Like if he was ever ready, like just go right into the Swerve thing. And that's like big money for everyone involved. I mean, and I think that it's too obvious for it to not have happened for any other reason than a very serious one, you know, like a real reason, not some bullshit I can't fit you on the card reason.
Yeah. It has to be some type of situation that they can't even reveal in public, because it's 2.5 years of like it just being kind of just up in the air of what his medical status is. Like he said in the past, he is healthy and ready to go, but we heard nothing from AEW. And then that was, I think, the last time we heard of anything health wise from him, those reports was back in like 2025.
I mean, kudos to them for keeping it private all this time. It hasn't leaked. You know, nobody said anything. So good for you guys. It's just I hope you're okay, big guy.
Absolutely. Yeah, Swerve in Our Glory is a part of like the lineage of AEW makeshift tag teams that have become like the best in the company's history. Swerve in Our Glory, Hangman and Omega, Brodito, like these, they just hit on those makeshift tag teams so well.
People forget the Acclaimed was some shit they just made up on Dark.
Yeah,
you just put these guys together. Of course, that's why they hate each other in the end, but whatever.
Also true. During the recent Monet Mag, we heard about Mercedes Monet's return to AEW. Mercedes commented on her long-awaited return after defeating Alex Windsor on last week's Dynamite in the Owen Hart Cup. She says that she feels better than ever. She wrote, "I'm back and I feel better than ever. Almost 6 months away, and I've never had a break that long that wasn't due to injury. And after 16 years, it was the first time I got to truly relax and have no worries. But one thing I realized during that time away, I miss wrestling so much, especially that AEW. While I was gone, I saw all the rumors. Oh, she's pregnant. Oh, contract issues. Oh, she's leaving. Oh, this. Oh, that. Oh, nothing. Can I enjoy my vacation in peace? Can a woman have a period and be bloated? Can I enjoy my time off without speculation and rumors? One thing I also learned is there's nobody more impatient than wrestling fans. Y'all are the type of people who look up the ending of a movie before finishing it. You love not being surprised. You love not being present and fully in the moment because you are so caught up in the fantasy. But now the wait is over." I like the fact that she addresses stuff like this in the Monet mag because, yeah, the rumor mill, especially when it comes to female stars missing from companies, it gets kind of nasty and very uncomfortable, very cringe worthy. And it explains why some of these wrestlers have these type of relationship with the fans.
This is because they start saying things that cross the line. That's like the exact opposite of what I was talking about with the CM Punk thing, where it's like, you know, what happened? Maybe did he get in a fight backstage or whatever? And meanwhile, when Mercedes is like, is she pregnant? You're like, what the fuck? Wait, look at her body, bro. She looks bloated. You're like, whoa. Like maybe she's injured. I don't know. Like maybe she hurt her leg or something. You know, like I don't know. What the fuck? Pregnancy. The problem with people nowadays is they don't know the difference between something you say in a group chat and something you say in public. You know, like you want to
people too brave for my blood. They too brave, behind the keyboard.
That's insane. You can't be talking about a woman's fucking potential pregnancy based on how her body looks. Like, what the fuck? That's the first thing you learn not to do as a kid. I did. Like, oh my God, are you pregnant? Yeah. I'm just fat. I don't know, man. It's insane to me. You know, like, whatever you feel comfortable saying something in private, it's a private conversation. Yeah, you deal with whatever you deal with. But that's insane to speculate like that on a public level. So she's right to react the way she reacted.
Yeah, I agree with her. Like, it's very frustrating when you see wrestling fans talk about stuff that they have no concept of understanding whatsoever. And I'm happy that she's able to kind of get some time off, because I think that was a big thing of why her WWE run did not work out, because they never really gave her that type of opportunity. And it's the same thing that some WWE fans said about Punk. Oh, they never gave him a time off before, so he's getting time off now. Why are y'all so worried? But yeah, I think it's more prevalent when it's when like Mercedes Moné, because of how the female talent are treated in general throughout all of wrestling.
See, I think being like, if the conversation was like, oh my God, is she going back to WWE? Like, oh my God, is the contract up? Like, that's normal stuff. Like, it is what it is. That's something to be concerned about. Oh my God, her contract, she hasn't been seen in a long time. She signed in 2023. It's been 3 years. Oh my God, is she gone? Those are normal conversations to have, I think. That's fine. That's perfectly fine to talk about. Yeah, but people are weird. Wrestling fans are fucking weird. I mean, talking about the weirdest pregnancy, like, you don't even know what a woman feels like, let alone what she looks like when she's becoming to be pregnant. You know, like, shut up. we barely know, and we were witnesses that were pregnant with our kids. I watched the whole thing happen, and I still got no idea how.
He's like, I don't even know how she was able to pull this one off, but I'm impressed. That's how I get me. Absolutely. But we gotta talk about Cerise. Sareee was, of course, scheduled to be part of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. She was scheduled to face Sky Blue on the Summer Blockbuster edition of Dynamite, and she was replaced by Maya World, who picked up the shocking upset win after recently losing her brother due to a car accident. During the Wrestling Observer Radio this week, Dave Meltzer offered more details regarding why Sareee was pulled from her match and the tournament. Sareee flew into the event in Cincinnati, Ohio, accompanied by Takumi Iroha, and she was in attendance at the Andrew J. Brady Music Center. Although Brian Alvarez pointed out that they knew Sareee likely wasn't going to be cleared for the match as early as a month ago before the announcements took place due to an existing injury, Dave Meltzer reported that Sareee was cleared in Japan ahead of the Wednesday night show. Sareee also brought Iroha as a potential backup for the matchup if she wouldn't be medically cleared after arriving in the U.S. Meltzer explained she was cleared, she flew in, and their AEW doctors didn't clear her. That's what they said. And I mean, in Japan, she said that she's going and bringing Takumi with her in case she couldn't do it. However, instead of using Takumi Iroha as a replacement for her, AEW opted to use Maya World instead. Alvarez and Meltzer noted that AEW likely opted to use Maya World as a replacement for Sareee in the light of her real-life tragedy she experienced. Meltzer commented using Maya World instead of Takumi Iroha made for just a better story. Friday's Wrestling Observer newsletter offered more details on what was meant to happen, while also qualifying that the entire story will be out sometime after the semifinals next week. Original plans were seemingly for Sareee to win and face Athena in the semifinals, with the planned outcome of that match unclear. World won instead, and the planned result of the Athena match isn't known at this point, but everyone assumes Mercedes Moné will be in the finals with an expected win over Hazuki. If the idea of World as a substitute is that she fits the storyline better, however, it seems unlikely they just eliminate her immediately thereafter. World had been given the week off due to her brother's death from a car accident when he was hit by a passing vehicle. So thoughts and prayers to Maya World. Really good performance, I thought, in the matchup against Sky Blue on Wednesday on short notice and everything. But the Sareee thing, it just didn't make any sense from the moment they announced her, because it was literally on the same day she announced that she had a neck injury.
I remember thinking somebody didn't get the phone call. Like, somebody somewhere didn't get a phone call. Like, how the fuck is this? How is this happening? So they've known for a while that this probably wasn't going to happen, which was like, fuck, you've had a long time to set something else up. But I guess they hoped against hope. I can do this. Okay. And she came in with a second because she wasn't sure that she was going to get cleared. Come on, man.
Yeah. I love the people that was like, they already made it clear that Takumi was going to be the replacement. I was like, no, that was just Sareee who said that Takumi was going to be a replacement just in case.
It's hard not to. It's funny to watch Sareee get Takumi a booking like that, because essentially she forced it on them. Like, I'm bringing a second, and it's like, okay, shit. I'll put her on Ring of Honor, I guess. You forced her on me.
If you really want me to use her, I'll use her there. Well, how about that?
And he definitely did. Yeah, it's just, it sucks, but it was pretty obvious too that it was gonna be Sareee versus Athena, and that Athena would win and go to the finals, because that's just the trajectory of this. I mean, I know they're like, it's unclear because they couldn't get it verified, but let's be fucking real here. Athena versus Mercedes, that's pay-per-view.
That seems like the one they go through. Even though, me personally, I think that Maya World would be a better story. I think Maya World gains more from beating Athena and going to the finals.
But you got to get Athena on TV, and I don't want her to be off of this. You got to come up with a story where she's like off a loss or whatever. I just had the idea that Athena would win the Owen and then be on AEW TV all the way through Wembley, and whatever happens. But we'll see what happens. It seems to me Mercedes taking the loss at Wembley is the most interesting story path. So like, I mean, not at Wembley, not taking the loss at Wembley, taking the loss in the fucking finals of this Owen Cup, and then finding a different way to get to Wembley against the winner. Other than just winning, coming back and winning is fucking lame. It's boring.
I think, but I think the biggest matchup you can do for the women's title is Mercedes versus Tekla.
Is it? Is it?
Yes.
Though? Is it?
Yes.
Tekla's entertaining. Tekla's great. Tekla's
the best character in the women's division.
Certainly is.
Like, it's not even close
in the women's division, but I don't know about the biggest match. Like
if she's the best character, she's one of the bigger stars. No one isn't really a star outside of Mercedes. You got to pick the person with the most momentum, and that's Tekla.
I don't know. I think it's a waste. I think it's a continuous waste of Athena not to finish this off at Wembley the way they should have done it in the first place. A year ago or whatever, 2 years ago, before they did it in fucking Boston, for the sake of doing it. We'll see though. I like I said, Athena versus Tekla. Mercedes versus Tekla is a good match. Mercedes versus Tekla, I think, gets placed higher on the card than Mercedes versus Athena. I don't know. I would put Mercedes and Tekla number 3 on the card. I would put Mercedes and Athena before the main event. That's just where I am.
I think either or. I think Mercedes is coming in with a chip on her shoulder, and she's gonna deliver probably Tekla's best match of her career. And I think the story would be interesting as well, because you would kind of have to turn a Mercedes babyface against Tekla.
I think that women's division is already so fucking drained that Mercedes waltzing in and just beating everybody and winning the Owen Cup is just like boring. It's boring. It's too easy. It wasn't earned. Reminds me of Cody coming back and winning the Royal Rumble the first time. He just did it. It was like, okay, I'm here. I did it. Boom, everybody, I'm back. I was like, I guess. Okay.
Hey, I think Athena is great, but they have given me no indication whatsoever that she's winning this Owen. They've barely featured her on television since Double or Nothing. She's got a match on Collision tonight, but they've barely featured her on AEW television for her to win. That would feel much more like, oh, we're just doing it to pop the hardcores. Honestly,
I don't even think she's much more than hardcore, but like their whole fucking fan base is hardcores. But I don't know. I disagree that Athena is a lesser match than Tekla. I see the.
I think as far as star power, she is. Tekla is the biggest star, not named Mercedes, in the AEW women's division as of right now.
I think Tekla is the most intriguing character. I think Tekla is the best character in the women's division. I think she's got the most potential. I just think she needs to cook a little longer before we can say she's a star on the level of not even.
I think the culmination of that is her against Mercedes. There's no bigger matchup and no bigger test to see if her star power and her character work can carry it through. Is to build to that big matchup against Mercedes at All In. I think it would feel like a robbery, honestly, for Tekla to lose the title to Mercedes at like a redemption and not get a big matchup at All In because of all the work that she's done.
It's in the name, redemption. No.
We're already getting that with Kenny being MJF. We don't need it all throughout. Hey, we're getting that with that, and we're getting that with Moxley telling Ospreay, "You got one more challenge before Wembley. You gotta beat me."
That's gotta happen to you, right?
We got a super chat donation here from our boy Dion Jenkins. Thank you so much, Dion, for the support. He says, name 3 WWE talents each of you would like to see in AEW. He said, I like to see Gargano, Dragunov, and Bayley. I think they would have better runs in AEW. Okay, so I'm taking it by what you're saying is realistically. So I'm going to give you 3 realistically and 3 unrealistically. Unrealistically, I would say Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Drew McIntyre. I think all of those would cook in AEW all have stories, have interesting stuff for them to do, and they would feel like legitimate stars that boost the profile of AEW. So they check all of the boxes, in my opinion. As far as like realistic people, I kind of have to steal from you. Bayley just jumps off the page as someone realistically who could come. I don't think she will, but realistically she could with her contract about to expire. Dragon Lee is another one I would put in there, where I think that they only scratched the surface with him in AEW and he would be better utilized in AEW. And this is like realistic but also unrealistic at the same time, but he's the third name that just jumps off the page for me. Chad Gable.
Chad Gable would rock. He'd be world champion in a fucking year. Make the jump. What
about you?
Yeah, it's, you know, I laugh when you mentioned Dragon Lee. I was thinking, but did he know? Did he know what Triple A was gonna do that day? Do we know if he knew? But I would go probably with Dragunov for sure, because they ain't doing a fucking thing with him. No. A steal from you again, Bayley, even though she seems content doing nothing and having lodestone seminars once a quarter. That's fine. But the third person I would go with is not Johnny Gargano. You get to stay there with your Triple H socks. I want Lyra. Get her out of there.
Ooh, that's a good shout. That's Lyra a good shout.
Is so fucking good, man. She's so good, and sometimes she's out there with like shitters, man. Like fucking some real shitters that can't really wrestle on her level, because she is a beast, and a bump she's willing to take, man. Like I know she's got a long time to go. She's still very young in WWE. I'm sure they'll give her more chances or whatever, but fuck, she's so good. Sometimes I saw she was out there with, I think it was like Io Sky, and they were fucking killing it, and the crowd was like dead silent. I was like, go where they appreciate you, girl.
Doing Shakespeare in front of dogs.
In front of dirty silent dogs.
You fucking mutts. We got a few more AEW notes to get to before we move on. Great question. Thank you so much in the chat. After breaking his femur in a matchup against Josh Alexander in AEW, you got Kota Ibushi had to undergo 2 surgeries, the second being because a screw came loose from the first one. This has kept him on the shelf for quite some time, and he has focused on rehabilitating not just himself, but the Shinjuku face arena in which he competed many times. In Friday's Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer had more of an optimistic update on his condition, though he says it won't be anytime soon. Word he has heard is that Ibushi does still have plans on working towards a return. He states those close to him say that they believe he has every intention of trying to return, but he worries that his balance, lateral movement, change of direction might not come back. He has not given up on a return, but did want to temper expectations. It would be coming soon. Meltzer adds that anytime in 2026 sounds premature at this point. He said that in January, Ibushi stated that I have 1 year, 9 months left. I'll clear you in 9 unnecessary months. That means I'll be back in 2026. Since that math doesn't add up, it sounds like he meant 2027, and that could still be the expected pace of any return. And then finally, some news related to AEW. The U.S. Justice Department has given a stamp of approval on Paramount's acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery, clearing the deal on Friday. The Hollywood Reporter reports that the DOJ has signed off on a massive deal, which removes a potential roadblock for Paramount in its deal to acquire WBD. The move by the Department of Justice clears the U.S. approval for the $111 billion deal, which was announced in February. Paramount beat out Netflix in a dramatic bidding war that saw the latter company initially announced a deal to buy Warner Brothers. However, Paramount launched a hostile bid that eventually led to WBD agreeing with Netflix's consent to reopen negotiations with Paramount, who put in the new bid that won the company. The approval does not require Paramount to make any deviations or behavioral remedies or concessions, according to a report from Politico. Paramount was expected to have a fairly easy time getting approval due to the company's moderately cordial relationship with the current U.S. presidential administration. The approval, it must be noted, is not the only potential roadblock that Paramount must navigate. It must also win approval from the FCC, the European Union, and customers, among others. A group of states, including California, are preparing a lawsuit to block the deal, which is expected to be filed this month and could include the likes of New York, Colorado, Oregon, Nevada, Washington, Connecticut, and Tennessee. Warner Brothers Discovery is the broadcast partner of AEW, and Tony Khan has expressed optimism about Paramount acquiring WBD, noting that he expects Paramount to stick with AEW 100%. So do you think that Tony Khan should be this confident in this Paramount deal?
I think that he knows something that we don't know, and he's very, very happy with it. And if he's happy, I'm happy. Like he looks like he knows what the fuck is going on. Probably
he does.
A lot more than any fucking outside person, and anybody who thinks they're connected or whatever.
Yeah.
You're talking about a guy who, ignore the billionaire factor. Ignore the fact that the Ellisons probably know the Khans. Ignore that. You've got the NFL connection. That's the first thing. Tony Khan came into AEW from day one with unprecedented television connections. That was the thing that got AEW on TV in the first place. And people aren't factoring in that he has pre-existing connections in the television industry already. If he believes that the Paramount deal was the best outcome for AEW, I don't think he's bullshitting. I think he knows what he's talking about, and I think that everything is going to be fine with AEW. And I think the first tiny hint of that was people had been claiming that WWE was spreading out their wings onto all these streaming services because that would theoretically block AEW. But the era of WWE having the power to get exclusivity like that, I don't think it's there anymore. They don't have it. They don't have it on Netflix. They don't have it on Paramount. Excuse me. They don't have it on Tubi. Okay, they don't seem to have exclusivity anywhere. I think that AEW is free to operate wherever the fuck they want. And it showed up when their fucking first 101 episodes of Dynamite appeared on the Fox-owned Tubi app right next to WWE Raw.
They're already showing their hand. They're showing their hand already. So yeah. There's
also the report from Fightful that spoke to a Paramount source, and the source was I think people need to remember that UFC works for Paramount. Paramount doesn't work for UFC.
Exactly.
And I was there it is. There it is. That's the attitude right there. They still look down on wrestling. They still look down on UFC. This is just cockfighting, human cockfighting, evil shit. They make a lot of money. Fine, but you don't tell us what to do.
Exactly. You must have this twisted, brother. You must have this shit twisted. So I respect it. Yeah, I think it's much ado about nothing. People need to stop listening to coke addicted former agents. But anyway, former. Then we got NJPW Best of Super Juniors 33 final last Sunday, John. The show featured, of course, the final with Yo defeating Kosei Fujita in an absolutely phenomenal main event, using the ghost of Chaos's past, using a Rainmaker, the Bombaya knee, to finally win the big one and won his first ever Best of Super Juniors final, as he 3 tries and he finally did it, won the trophy. Post-match, House of Tortures, Doki, and Sho tried to interfere and interrupt the celebration, but Yo came back with low blows to stand tall. He then celebrated with the rest of the former Chaos members to close the show. Dramatic moment. It got a lot of polarizing reactions on social media, to say the least. We talked about it on our final review, but what was your thoughts on Yo getting the win in the final?
I like the match. There were people that didn't like the match. I was surprised. I was
I was
like
so
the match.
confused. I just think that sometimes in wrestling, if people don't like a certain guy, they're not gonna like his matches. And
Yeah.
there's certain people that just don't like what Yo brings to the table.
I think that he's much more interesting now than he was like shortly after the Yo show split, where they were like kind of floating around and lost. I think they've both kind of found something. I think Yo is certainly he's weird now, but that's fine. That's good. That's a character, damn it. I don't know what the fuck he's got going on, but it's androgynous and it's interesting and it's got something. And I know people, I think, were mostly mad that Fujita won last year and they didn't do anything. He didn't become the ace. He didn't like become the face of the junior division, and it feels like we're just gonna move on now. Like it's like, oh wait, he didn't even get a shot. So there's that. But I think it's gonna be good. I think this match at Dominion now against Doki, it's gonna be fucking good.
So, I agree.
I mean, I'm satisfied, you know. I mean, for me, the junior division it hasn't had a face. I mean, even like the last face it had was like Takahashi, and not even like Takahashi right before he left. Like Takahashi like a while ago. Because towards the end he was just spinning wheels. Like
he was.
Like, I don't want to be
because
here.
they really they like maybe like 3 years ago they kind of moved on to El Desperado being the face of the junior heavyweight division, but El Desperado wants to do death matches and all of that. So he wasn't like a long-term guy they could go with. Fujita is the guy now, but he doesn't need to be the guy right now. Like this was now or never for Yo at 38 years old. It was now or never. And I think that people confuse New Japan fans want something fresh, something new. That's why those fans were going crazy for Yo. This was one of the best crowd reactions, probably Sane's Tokyo Dome with Tanahashi's retirement and the mass versus mass matchup in Monterrey. It's up there with those two shows as far as the crowd reaction. Ottawa was on fire from the opening bell all the way to the end, and they were living and dying by each and everything Yo was doing. But this is not the first time that this has happened with Yo. Like, you look back at his matchup with Doki in April, the fans were on the edge of their seat in Kurgan Hall for a Doki matchup in this horrible Petrit fucking title reign because they wanted Yo to be the one to beat him. I think that matchup is the real kind of turning point that made Gato be like, all right, I'm gonna have you win the best Super Juniors now,
and probably the belt.
Yeah,
that's why that match is why I think this one's gonna be good too. Because I was like, okay, well, I mean, they can follow up on that, and it'll hit basically a lot of those same marks, so maybe reference them and then do some extra, and we got something epic. You know, so I'm excited.
And first time the junior title is gonna be on the Dominion card in 3 years.
Yeah, that says something. You know, that says a lot. It's gonna be good. We just got the Dominion card right after this.
Yeah, we're gonna do the predictions real quick here, but going through the rest of the secondary brands or partner brands of AEW, you had ROH had 2 shows this week. They had a YouTube special. The YouTube special featured AR Fox retaining the ROH World Television Championship over Angelico, Sammy Guevara, and Ace Austin in a fun 4-way main event. You also had Adam Priest, Dalton Castle, and the Outrunners scored a victory over Listico and Lethal Twist in an 8-man tag. Queen Amanada beat Trisha Dora in a decent matchup. Harley Cameron and Mina Shirakawa picked up a win over The Inspiration. Action Andretti overcame Beef in singles action, while Deonna Purrazzo beat Viva Van to retain the Women's Pure Championship. Then on Thursday, you had ROH TV on Honor Club. The show featured Bandito defeating Angelico in a pretty good ROH World Title Proving Ground main event. Eddie Kingston and Ortiz picked up a win over the Workhorsemen in tag team action. Red Velvet and Zeta Steel teamed up for the first time and pulled off an upset over the Inspiration. Billy Starks overcame a Robin Renegade in singles competition, while Action Andretti scored a victory over Soleil. Shane Taylor Promotions beat Serpentico and the Colognes in trios action. Mason Madden picked up a win over Teriyaki, while Ace Austin beat Mansoor. And then you also had Top Flight defeated the Premier Athletes in the opener. And then CMLL, Martis Popularis, and the Super Venice show. You had the show featured on Tuesday, Mystico and Teton beating Volador Jr. and Soberano Jr. in a great tag team main event that had a botch finish, but it did the people didn't mind. Masquerada Dorada scored a victory over Yutani in an awesome lightning matchup as well. And then last night you had Vernice Spectacular. You had La Faction Ingonables picking up a win over Los Villanos to retain the ROH World Tag Team Championships in a very good matchup. Teton overcame Yutani in a lightning matchup. Very fun bout that was. Persephone, Kira, and Olympia scored a victory over Thunder Rosa and Las Chicas Indonables in trios action, and Commander Neon and Tiger Mask defeated Barbaronic Carbonario, Black Tiger, and Ultimo Guerrero in a trios main event. Good matchup there as well. Any thoughts on CMLL this week?
Yeah, CMLL, and I mean all of Mexico right now. We've got this great thing going on. Obviously, the World Cup is taking place in North America, and so you're seeing a lot of awesome, to me, cultural exchange, which is awesome. I love that because there was a weird period in the last 10 years, maybe just 10 years ago, where people were like, God, it was like everything was appropriation. I was like, well, no, it's supposed to be shared. We're sharing that cultures are supposed to be exchanged. We share, we learn about each other. So seeing all the Koreans and the Nigerians and everybody's coming to Mexico and they're all fucking exchanging Mexican culture and they're all wearing sombreros and we're doing all this cool shit. And so they bring that energy has come to Arena Mexico this week. And at that show on Tuesday and Friday too, but I noticed more on Tuesday because the botch happened in the main event and like nobody cared.
No one cared.
They didn't know. They were just like they didn't know what the fuck that means. Like, okay, shit, that guy won. Yeah.
Soberano Jr. though, man, he's getting these fucking reactions. I think like he's the second most popular guy behind Mystico now.
He's challenging that Mystico pop. Like his pop is almost as big. It's just then the fucking song comes on at the end of the night. Everyone loses their shit, and it's a reminder of your place. You're not there yet, but he's getting there. And he gets what I used to call, or people used to call the Hardy pop, the Jeff Hardy pop. You take your shirt off. It's a different kind of pop. It's got women's voices in it, and that's the kind of sound that he gets when he comes out. People love, like the women fucking love Soberano Jr. That motherfucker can host like I'm taking your girlfriend conventions, only girlfriends invited, and there will thousands of girlfriends will show up. It's insane. It's awesome though. I love to see that type of crowd connection. People, there's a lot of doom and gloom about the CMLL's outreach towards tourism and about how they're like pricing out their normal fans in like Friday shows, and that's why the Saturday Guadalajara shows and like the Puebla shows are all getting sold out now because the regular fans are like they can't afford Arena Mexico or whatever. But there's still enough, like when they pan the crowd for me on the Fridays and you see all those regulars in front or whatever, and you see the way they react to things that only people who know react, I'm like, come on, it's not that many fucking tourists in there. Like the tourists don't know shit about Soberano Jr. being sexy. They're all fucking mass muscle people to them. You're like, what the fuck would they know about that? You know? So I think it's doom and gloom. But I also say that because I'm going and I don't want to stop talking shit. Talking
shit about my CMLL people.
I know, but more the idea that the tourism is like a bad thing. Because I'm like, I don't know if it's a bad thing. I don't know, but maybe that's because I'm the tourist. But maybe like that's probably why. But I didn't come for the World Cup. You know, I came for Arena Mexico. It's a little different. I guess
it's different.
But yeah, I don't know. I just thought I've seen that conversation a lot, and from a lot of the like bigger names in the lucha community. So it was something that I guess I was like, man, I guess I can't really speak on it, but it seems like an exaggeration.
I agree. All right, but it's time for Miss Chrissy Love's usual favorite time of the show, best, worst moments and matches of the week. I will go first. My best of the week, I'm going to give it to Javon Evans for picking up the upset win on Monday Night Raw. I did not expect that whatsoever. Like you said, I thought that Seth was definitely going to win that, and that felt like a big major victory for the young OG. So I'll give him best of the week. Worst of the week, this man does not deserve anything good. So his legal troubles going away does not stop him from being the LVP. Vince McMahon. What you got? Best and worst of the week.
My best of the week, I might have to give it to a Black Tiger. Black Tiger talked to me earlier this year, and we talked about how he didn't know if it was going to be possible, but he wanted to be able to face off with Tiger Mask one last time and even be the one to retire him. Tiger Mask is down here now for his final tour of Mexico, and he's got Black Tiger. He's getting everything that he told me he wanted. And so when he came out on Friday, he had this half mask. It was like half Tiger Mask, half Black Tiger. That's really cool. And then he just fucking attacks Tiger Mask during his entrance anyway. I was like, oh God, this fucking good shit. This is perfect. So I mean, I'm going with Black Tiger this week. He's got my best. And worst, gonna have to copy you real fast. Vince McMahon. It doesn't get much worse than seeing some scumbag rich piece of shit get away with it in the end. But here we are. He's gonna get away with everything as he always does because he's fucking rich, and that's what happens.
There we are. Then we got moment of the week. I'm gonna go with co-moment of the week. I'll go with Maya World's win on Dynamite, showing so much strength after losing her brother and coming out there having a good performance, and the Chad Gable pop on Monday Night Raw. That was fucking awesome for him. What's your moment of the week?
Yeah, I know. Not just the pop, not just the Chad Gable pop, but just the whole whoever wrote that segment was really thoughtful. The whole mask aspect, like he stole Rey Mysterio's mask and now I'm giving it back to you. I don't know. I like the Chad Gable respects lucha culture thing now.
Same. I do. I think it's one of their more kind of like layered storytelling that they've shown in a while.
Yeah. So I like that, man. I gotta agree with you there.
Then we got matches of the week. I've been bigging it down to 10, but I do have 3 honorable mentions. Hazuki versus Persephone. Miyu Yamashita versus Chris Statlander from the Eve show last Friday. I watched that this week. Great matchup that they have. And the Javon Evans, Ricky Saints, Talatanga, Seth Rollins match from Raw. Number 10 for me this week, I'm going with Takeda versus Jonathan Gresham from the GCW Tournament of Survival show. That was so creative, though. To have him do like a first sequence where he does technical wrestling, and then Takeda just says, "Nah, fuck that." Breaks the glasses on the mat and says, "Do the technical wrestling now." I was like, yes, this is what I need. And just his storyteller was off the charts that you don't get in a lot of death matches. So I had to include it here. Number 9, I went with Mystico, Teton versus Soberano Jr. and Volador Jr. from Tuesdays, Martes Popularis. 8, I went with Masquerada Dorada versus Yutani from Tuesdays, Martes Popularis. 7, I went with Penta versus Rey Mysterio from Monday Night Raw. 6, I went with Kendall Gray versus Kalani Jordan from NXT. 5, Swerve versus Brody King from Dynamite Summer Blockbuster. I gave that 4 1/4. 4, I went with Ray Phoenix versus Axiom from last night's SmackDown. I don't care about the crowd. Those two guys balled the fuck out. Just put it in a different place next time. Number 3, I went with Fraxium versus Romeo Moreno and Noam Dar. I gave that 4.5 stars. One of the best NXT matches of the year so far. Number 2, Templario and Commander versus Villano III Jr. and Angel Dororo from the Arena Coliseum show last Saturday. I get that 4.5 star. Stellar matchup. Commander's been amazing in Arena Mexico and CMLL this past week. But number 1, Yo versus Fujita from the Best of Super Juniors final. I gave that 4 3/4 stars. John?
Yeah, it's a little smaller for me. I was just gonna give it to I just had one match of the week, and I was gonna give my honorable mention to Utani versus Dorada on Tuesday. I love the lightning matches. I get so mad because it's not enough. I'm like, fuck, they start off hot and they go hard, but fuck, I need more. But that Best of Super Junior Finals was the shit. That was great. I loved it. I thought that was the best big stakes match of the week.
Definitely agreed there. So that is our match of the week for the week. But we're gonna get another probable match of the week from New Japan, as Dominion is tomorrow morning in Osaka. We're gonna run through the card here with our rapid fire final predictions for the show. We got an opener for the NJPW World Television Championship, Konosuke Takeshita versus Sanada. Who you got, John?
I muted myself for a second, but
okay.
Yeah, I got Takeshita here. Honestly, though, I wouldn't be. I have Takeshita because it's safe, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they went Sanada for some reason.
Yeah, there's just something that I just feel like they're gonna go with Sanada, so I'll go with Sanada here. Then we got Jake Lee versus El Fantasmo in a no DQ matchup. I'm going Jake Lee here, John.
Yeah, Jake Lee, the no DQ matchup, and the idea that he's been getting all this heat. This is like the most interest he's had since he came back from injury. Might as well keep that shit going.
Yeah. And then we got tag team action. It's going to be Yuya Uemura and Tai Chi versus TMDK, Zack Sabre Jr. and Roye Uyawa. I'm going with TMDK here. Who you got?
I gotta agree. Even though Tai Chi and Yuya probably could use a win, they just aren't. They aren't being set up to be like that. They're just like this team that gets together because they need baby team again.
Absolutely. Then we got a dream match: El Desperado versus Mystico. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions collide here. Mystico don't lose matches in Mexico. He ain't losing in Japan.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Mystico doesn't lose very much. I don't see him losing here today.
Then we got Aaron Wolf going one-on-one with Ren Narita for the Never Openweight Championship. I'm going with Wolf, two-time champ. Who you got?
I'm going with the toilet because that's where I'll be when this match is on.
But who do you think wins?
Aaron Wolf is going to win. But honestly, they got him going through this like humiliation ritual shit sometimes.
Yes, they do. They really do. Then we got for the IWGP Tag Team Championships, the Knockout Brothers versus United Empires, Hanare and Great Okan. I'm going with the Knockout Brothers, but I wouldn't be surprised if United Empire won this one. John?
Yeah, because they've had it for a while. And I wouldn't be surprised, but I just think New Japan knows what they have with the Knockout Brothers right now. And I don't think they want to. There's no reason to shift the belts. I mean, it's not like it's going to make anything more interesting by giving it the fucking Hanare and Great Okan, who I love both of those guys, actually, by the way. But it's not going to change anything, Yeah.
For the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, Andrade El Idolo defends against Shota Umino and Drilla Maloney. I'm going with Shota Umino, new champion.
I would give it to Shooter. I would give it a Shooter. I love Drilla Maloney, but it's not his time. And Andrade stepped in for Gabe, so it's like, as cool as it was, he doesn't really need that right now. Shooter does. Shooter does. And they seem to like three ways with this belt. That's a thing.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Oh. And then we got for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, Yo versus Doki. If there's one result we need from this show, it's fucking Yo winning this damn title.
Yeah, I think we can give it to Yo. The thing about Doki is him taking off the Best of Super Juniors tournament. I know in kayfabe it's like, why should I? But I suspect there was a real reason. And so taking the belt off him is probably the move anyway. Yeah.
And then Yota Tsuji challenges the youngest ever IWGP heavyweight champion, Callum Newman. I said this when Callum Newman won the title at Sakura Genesis. I was like, this is a 2-month reign to cement him as a main eventer. He's going to lose the title back to Yota Tsuji. When everybody was freaking out, Yota Tsuji lost the title already. I was like, don't worry. He'll have the title by Dominion. I'm sticking to my prediction. Yota Tsuji, 2-time champ. Who you got?
Yep. I don't know. We were on the same show. I'm pretty sure I've said to you before, like, this is not going to last long. It kind of reminds me of Other times, Gaijins have shocked and won the belt and just kind of dropped it back to the same person afterwards. Like it's happened before.
It's a rite of passage in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
It happened to AJ fucking Styles, Callum. Who do you think you are, Callum?
Exactly. But we have made it to the end of another edition of the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us live. If you haven't already, drop the thumbs up, share this video, subscribe if you are new. Thank you to the True Jaw Josh, and thank you to the good brother, the sixth man of the flagship podcast, John Escudero. Let the people know where they can follow you on social media, what you got going on Dirt Sheet Radio, and anything else you want to plug.
So it's John Escudero, of course. Follow me on Dirt Sheet Radio. Follow Dirt Sheet Radio on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Just search up Dirt Sheet Radio. We do have a pretty big announcement coming. It's more like a revamp. There's a big thing coming, and it's going to take us to the next level, and I'm happy to announce it, and it's coming. Should be this week if everything goes well. It'll be probably on Monday. A bunch of people will be getting an email in their inbox, and things are gonna get crazy. So please stay tuned. And besides that, if you want to hear more of my sexy voice, check out the latest episode of Dirt Sheet Radio, available now everywhere podcasts are found. So thank you for having me on. Of course, Sid.
Bravo to this man who wore a mask the entire fucking show. This man is true to the bone. He is true pro wrestler. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SB3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Tru Heel Heat. Patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best way to support us when we're not live here. You check out our Gold Match series. Me and Jimmy Makaram watch Mayani Toyota versus Akira Hokuto. That's going to be up over the weekend. Yeah. It's one of the greatest women's matches of all time. Oh my God. Timeless.
Have you watched, you know who Kim's Justice is on YouTube? Kim's Justice. Oh my God. If you haven't, then you're about to find a treasure trove of content, because they make documentaries about that era. So they have like a 4-hour All Japan documentary that sucked me in because it was like 4 pillar stuff. But then they just released like a 3-hour one about AJW, like All Japan Women's Wrestling.
Yeah.
So if you're in that fucking mode, Kim's Justice, bro, that's the shit.
I'm gonna check that out for sure. But yes, we've made it to the end, guys. I will be back live on Monday, I believe 12:05 p.m. Eastern time, to review NJPW Dominion 2026. So join us for that over on Tru Heel Heat Sports and Entertainment. We got a review for Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, the season premiere for season 5. So join us for that tomorrow over on Tru Heel Heat Sports and Entertainment. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified so you always know when we're live here. Me and John will be back for, of course, the big weekend at the end of the month, Forbidden Door week. So join us for that as well. For John Escudero, for the True Jaw Josh, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 385, legal controversy obtained and averted. We are signing off until next time.